I'm getting shade before the show even starts. And good evening, and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. We are broadcasting live, and then we're available on demand on Roku, Apple Television, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, and of course, if you're a little old-fashioned, YouTube and Facebook. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, January 11th, 2023, and I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. And welcome to Season 4 of the first LGBTQ talk show of its kind in the world. We are going to laugh and play through our LGBTQ plus world next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out.
Where you come from to where you are now, and now you're inspiring a lot of people along the way. Like, how humbling is that for you?
It's so cool.
The Wienermobile.
What we've done here is we've given Phil a happy...
It's all happening out tonight. With your hosts, gay guru Al Ferguson, lesbian activist FayWhat, pansexual leather daddy Elimination, drag queen and comedian Auntie Maine, Latino muscle bear Jonathan Casañas, Gen Z political advocate Maxx Fenning, Gen Z bear and actor Cameron Glass, leadership coach and leather sir Mark Moffitt, Indo-Caribbean artist Trinidadi, Muslim American communications exec Kal Gajraj. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, this season 4 cast is the most diverse in our history. And we have a guest with us this week from South Florida Gay News, community editor John Hayden. And thanks for joining us tonight.
Absolutely, Al. Thank you.
You look familiar, John. Take off your shirt.
No, the audio guy will yell at me. The audio guy spent too much time getting this microphone just right. So
clearly, they've got to watch FayWhat show. It's Happening Out, as you know, is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America. Hotspots magazine has been documenting the LGBTQ plus experience for 37 years. And Happening Out Television Network has been bringing you daily LGBTQ plus news, talk shows, and more for 4 years. We operate in the exact same model of PBS and NPR. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve the LGBTQ plus community. All right, let's jump right into It's Happening Out. TikTok has become the top source for viral content on the internet. You can find everything from recipes, hot guys, vacation clips. Oh, and by the way, nothing says vacation like a cruise on the new cruise brand, Virgin Voyages. Virgin has been an iconic supporter of the LGBTQ plus community, and now Virgin Voyages brings you to an entire new level as your #1 choice of an LGBTQ plus vacation. Value is the word, and value is what they include, being an adult-only cruise, Wi-Fi, all food from 20-plus eateries, tips, group workouts, and even essential drinks, all included. And that's value. And their values are also self-evident. Virgin Voyages fights for equality and the right to be seen and heard and included. And this is why Virgin Voyages is part of our best TikTok of the week. So each week we show you a favorite TikTok video that we have watched. And this week it's called The Cock Whisperer.
The what?
The Cock Whisperer shares cocks from the internet by user @JakeNodar. Watch this.
Welcome to the Cock Whisperer. I am the Cock Whisperer. Let's look at some cocks. We asked you to send in your cock pics, and you did just that. Unfortunately, after 200 plus emails, only 13 were actually roosters. The rest were genitals. Let's take a look for another round of Show Us Your Cock. That's the Dong Tao. Imagine having a dong cock. That's like naming your child Philip Phillips or being in a band called Duran Duran. And talk about poor circulation. Look at those cankles. The Dong Tao is from Vietnam, and a single cock can fetch up to $2,000. Andy sent us a picture of his gorgeous cock. Look at that meaty lavender Orpington. Now let's watch in slow-mo as he tickles his waddle. And remember, don't forget to send your cock pics to cocks@thecockwhisperer.com. Follow for more cocks.
The Cock Whisperer, what do we think? Let's start with Faye.
I thought it was really stupid. Why is he wearing a UPS uniform? Did you notice that? I was like, what the hell? No, I will not send you my cock
He
picture,
delivers
sir.
packages.
No, it looked very Australian. He's really getting down on
With his leg up on the truck that way, it was like,
Community guidelines really just like blind emoji'd this one through and through.
The best comment was poor circulation and him in them tight freaking shorts. I'm like, the balls cannot breathe. Like, all of that was just like, I was dying for him.
right. Exactly.
He is a cock-a-doodle-doo. Oh, yeah, baby.
Wow. Jeez.
Or
Well,
don't.
or don't. Right. All right. Before we leave the dock with TikTok, let's think about the best place to make your next video. And of course, we're talking about a Virgin Voyages cruise. Watch this.
I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through like a virgin. Touched for the very first time like a virgin. When your heart beats next to mine.
Well, thank you, Virgin Voyages. All right. I need a drink.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Is this an essential beverage?
It is. Let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. We have played this game since season 1, episode 1. We invite you at home to play right along with us as I make 6 statements to our host. If they agree with the statement, they take the shot. And if they disagree, well, it's going to be a long night for you, I assure you. All right, everybody ready?
Yes, let's do this.
All right, then let's play I'd Swallow That. And by the way, I'd Swallow That is sponsored by the LGBTQ plus community's favorite spirit brand. Bacardi is the world's most loved rum brand and a special sponsor of our nonprofit 501c3 efforts to educate, inform, and empower the LGBTQ plus community. Bacardi is as diverse as our LGBTQ community is. Our neighbors here in South Florida, they are the world's largest privately held spirits company, and Bacardi is also a legacy name in their support of the LGBTQ plus community, with sponsorships, pride embracements, and deep and passionate support of our LGBTQ plus charities and causes. And that is why tonight, It's Happening Out plays I'd Swallow That with our favorite rum drink, Bacardi. All right, here we go. Hasbro's iconic board game, Clue, has been updated with a sexy queer twist, and Twitter is thirsting for it. The iconic characters of this classic board game now resemble queer archetypes, and the LGBTQ plus community is here for it. Honorifics have been chucked out the library window, so to speak, in favor of job titles. Mrs. White becomes Chef White. Mr. Green is now Mayor Green, and Mrs. Peacock is Solicitor Peacock. But as one sharp-eyed Twitter user pointed out, these characters could also be stereotypes for the LGBTQ plus subgroups. According to the user, we're being introduced to Professor Plum, non-binary Nepo baby, Senor Verde, gay, Cuban, Jewish, lied on his resume. Chef White, non-binary, emotional, unavailable, alcoholic. Miss Peacock, trans, rich, secretly Republican. Miss Scarlet, lesbian, dominatrix, noise artist, DJ, FayWhat. Sir Mustard, sad leather daddy. Oh yeah, I know who that is. All right, question number 1. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Queer characters can't make Clue a 21st century board game.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, we're not into board games.
No, I love board games. I probably have close to maybe like 50 board games. And I always have like game
Are
night.
you serious?
Yeah, everything
Wait,
from...
if you tell me you live in Homestead, I'm...
No, I don't live in Homestead, but I mean everything from Monopoly to the Game of Life, Jenga, Trouble, Hunger Hippos, like you name it. Like I've had them all growing up and I still keep them. And my friends and I still have game night. And I actually love board games, but I'm not really for this update because I like the classic game of Clue. So it's not like I'm going to go out there and buy this new version, but I'm really glad that they brought out a new version so that a new generation can fall in love with playing board games and have game nights.
Well, see, I kind of enjoy that because anybody could be anybody. So that one child who identifies more manly or versus more feminine can be that professor without it being targeted that you want to be the girl all the time. This just allows them to play the game without the risk of being picked on, being chosen to be stand out because they want to be that person.
So says Sir Mustard.
Sad leather daddy.
Yeah, I like games like Categories or Pictionary. I like stuff that like you have to act things out, or like Heads Up, the one that Ellen DeGeneres would always be back. I love stuff like that where you can act things out or do stupid things like that. But when it comes to like a board game, I have to go old school with like Monopoly.
Is this going to be successful? Updating the game and
well, they have to do something.
That's not my question.
Okay.
My question is, they have to do something, but when they've done something, is it going to be successful? We'll go, oh, now we are in love with Clue all over again.
We would need another pandemic for that to happen. You know, like during pandemic when people were buying board games and everything, you know?
Did you wish another pandemic?
Oh my God, no, I didn't mean that. Oh my God, Universal, Dios mío.
Take it back. Take it back.
Exactly.
All right.
There we are.
I don't
There
think
we
it's
are.
going to be successful.
No.
The happening out version. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on because your prayer was all to get through this. All right, there's no better way to kick off the year than heading to Las Vegas. Why would you head to Las Vegas in the first week of January? For the GayVN Award. Comedian Alec Mappa and drag superstar Kylie Sonique Love co-hosted this gala. Now, Max, do you know what we're talking about? This event is where winners were revealed in 33 gay adult porn award categories, 18 of which were voted on by the fans themselves. Cade Maddox was one of the big winners of the night, taking home 2 awards. Favorite porn star, we're showing you his face right now, and favorite cock. Roman Todd took home the Performer of the Year award. I wonder what he did to win Performer of the Year. I'm
He
not
did the
quite
favorite
sure.
cock.
Yes. And one of the top prizes of the night, a favorite of mine, Austin Wolf also won 2 awards from the big night. Favorite body and favorite creator site star. Watch this.
You're taking the words right out of my mouth. Seeing that where you come from to where you are now, and now you're inspiring a lot of people along the way, like how humbling is that for you?
It's so cool. I have to pinch myself every time I get up there because when you win an award or just know that the fans put you there and gave you that award, I try not to let the tears come every time, but it's so exciting. It's like tears of joy, you know? It's a great feeling.
Is it pretty amazing to see the way the community has kind of rallied around you and championed you in a lot of ways?
I think so. It hasn't always been a community that has come together. To see them do that, especially around me, it is very, very uplifting. I've actually never been asked that question before, but I actually think about it all the time, and it's always very thankful that everybody is supportive as they are.
You're here in Vegas. Obviously, this is going to be fun tonight, but is there anything else you're looking forward to doing while you're in Vegas?
Not losing money on the slot machines.
Very important and not easy to do by any means.
Last night I had a bad night, so.
It's okay. You'll make up for it tonight, probably with the awards that you'll get, so it's all good.
We were just talking about it. Austin Wolf, I'm a big fan of yours. Just saying. Question number 2 with the Bacardi shot. I'd swallow that. I loved the big. Wait. Oh, yeah. I lost my train of thought there for a moment. I loved that the big winners of the 2023 Gay Porn VN Awards was held in Las Vegas. Everybody excited about the Gay VNs?
No.
Very.
No and very. Let's begin with no. Explain to us why no.
All right, so I'm going to start with...
Oh, wait. Oh, I already understand. You have 50 board games. Now, let's move to... Why no?
So, Al, you know that I've worked in performing arts for quite some time now. And no, not in the adult porn industry.
Where's this
How are we connected?
Hey, like,
OnlyFans, I'm
you
talking
didn't-
about the subscription.
My sinus is as we speak.
You guys didn't know? I mean,
wolf drool that you had. That's all.
no, but for many years, I've been fortunate to work in, the classical arts, the opera, Broadway, symphony, the ballet and stuff like that. So when I see things like this, I think it's rather ridiculous, in my opinion, because it's not an art. To me, it's not an art form.
You don't think that they deserve these awards?
No.
And
Like,
you
what
don't
was one of the categories out? Best cock? Like, that was literally the it says it on the award.
Yeah,
Best cock 2022. And
I would rather give the award to
Jeff
one of the
Stryker.
cocks in the
Have you
TikTok
heard-
video that we watched
Have you heard
earlier.
of Jeff Stryker?
I've heard, yes.
Jeff Stryker won that category.
Yeah, absolutely. And had a whole bunch of toys made after him.
And made
fits
a
the mold.
fortune
Yes.
on
Yeah.
it.
I just can't take porn seriously. Like, it's just you're watching it and it's like, oh, that bowl of cereal is getting soggy. Like,
And that's why you only need 3 minutes, clearly, because your focus is like.
Listen, I think you should look at this less like the Golden Globes,
Yes.
more like a beauty pageant, right? Like, this is not about, nobody's watching porn for the plot. You know what I mean? No one's going on men.com and being like, wow, the lighting, the cinematography was superb.
One of the awards.
Challenge that.
Biggest cock.
Do you watch porn?
Yeah, frequently,
All
quite.
right. So to our friends, we've had many producers from men.com on Queer News Tonight where we've talked to them about the business, completely only about the business of, okay, I tried to sell that. Men.com spends very significant money in creating story.
Right, and they should spend less money on it. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. And obviously that money, and obviously that story writing budget.
Superman versus Batman at Men.com was completely
art.
awesome.
Absolutely.
It was
Okay,
art.
but how much money does it take to screenwrite that? Right? Because clearly, like that plot, that storyline is the first 2 minutes, and then they get to fucking.
But
who
it's all about the
cares?
scenery, though. Hold on, pause. So we have the costume. We got to put the right actor in place. You and I cannot be Superman and Batman. Clearly not. However, Austin Wolf or maybe someone else can play that role. So you got to pay for that. And then again, you got to have chemistry. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for all those. So it's an art form by putting these people together. Additionally, porn takes chemistry. So therefore, it is an element of art. You got to make the right sound. You got to have the right development of
You lost me, Elimination. Now I'm imagining that Austin guy having sex with the guy who played Superman who got dumped.
You don't have to imagine.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Brandon Routh.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill
yes.
and Austin having sex together.
If
Tell me that wouldn't be the best thing ever.
Austin Wolf would make $1 million
Absolutely.
if he produced a porn video where he topped Henry Cavill. $1 million. People would pay $1 million on one of the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
And can we also recognize that the Gavians gave awards to our trans brothers and sisters who actually participate in this industry?
Yeah.
They would get forgotten. So let's not only forget about that. So therefore, that's why that's so.
Can I tell you, they have been forgotten.
Absolutely.
Because trans and bisexual are part of the AVNs. They are not under the gay VN umbrella, which is not really fair. And to your point, it is art. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to go up on stage and do a lot of the stuff that you see in traditional mainstream movies, and they go through a lot. And you've watched, it's a lot. But I would love to see the gay VNs get bigger because our friend Howard Andrew, a Fab Scout, friend of the show, been in your bed before, I believe.
I've been in his bed. That's what the scary part about it.
Tell that story.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Tell that
Howard
story.
Andrew is the scout of, the end-all and be-all when it comes to porn actors, right? And he is this big, burly guy, but I mean, he is like the sweetest man in the whole entire world. And I was
bear.
so blessed to be able to go and interview him at Fab Scout, which is maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 miles from here. It's very close to here. And they had all the scenery out, where they filmed.
It's different sets. If you
Different
watch
sets
a
all
locker
over.
room set, if
Yes.
you watch a bedroom set,
They had
if
a
you watch
jail, my favorite, the jail set, of course, and the bathroom set, and they just had so many different sets, and it was fantastic. But he went to the nitty gritty of it, where he's like, okay, if somebody wants to come and be an actor in these movies, I don't just take anyone.
Okay.
You can't take anyone. And he also ends up having a relationship with these, and I don't mean a relationship like that. I mean a friend relationship where, before they go out there to the wolves, let me take care of you. Let me help you. What do you need? Let me give you some direction so you don't end up falling for what can happen down here in South Florida so easy, especially in that environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also want to point out Howard is getting ready to be interviewed. He was the Hall of Fame winner for the GayVN Awards in Las Vegas.
Right?
And we're going to talk to him. And Faye warmed him up. And now we're really going to abuse him.
We need our own award show. We have award winners sitting here at the table, Faye and Max.
When are you giving me another award?
It's a segue, but I guess we'll move to the segue. Max was just awarded in January as SFGN's South Florida Person of the Year. Congratulations!
That is so incredible, honey.
That scene that you did with Austin Wolf was magnificent. I understand why you won. Okay, let's move on. Oscar Mayer is currently recruiting the next class of drivers for its iconic Wienermobile. That's a real word. The year-long hot dogger gig is available for a cadre of recent college graduates. Hint, hint. Each driver selected will represent over 20 states and drive there in the hot dog-shaped vehicle, travel more than 200,000 miles, and serve as Oscar Mayer's spokesperson at over 200 events per year, and document their journeys on social media as they go. There are 12 Wienermobile driver positions available for 2023, and the competition is fierce and on now. In past years, less than only 1% of applicants are selected, and in an online job posting, the company says, quote, "Idea candidates are outgoing, creative, friendly, enthusiastic, graduating college seniors," hint, hint, "who have an appetite for adventure and are willing to see the country through the windshield of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile," end quote. That is an exact quote. Nobody could make that up. Aspiring Wienermobile drivers can apply online anytime before January 31st. And we just wish that the position was open for all. And I assure you that Elimination wishes that. So, question 3. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. I like footlongs. So I want to drive the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Hey, Max chugs.
Listen, because I'm the only one eligible for this, I need internship credit. Hire me. I don't know.
I don't want to drive the Wienermobile, but I do like footlongs.
So
my car's got 120,000 miles on it. Yeah, give me the Wienermobile. I'll take it.
Could you drive around the country?
So I was
First off, no, I mean literally. Could you drive this gigantic vehicle around the country?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I know I'm gay, Al, but I can still drive, I promise. Listen, I was going to go on a road trip for New Year's. I'm trying to make it a tradition. It did not work well. 45 minutes in, phone wasn't working, turned around, went back home.
45 minutes in. Palm Beach County?
Nope. I got to Palm Beach Gardens. I called my mom. I said, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't know how to get back to I-95. Went home.
So wait. Pause 1 sec. Has anyone ever heard a truer Gen Z story than that?
I called my mommy.
I didn't know we had snowflakes this
Google Maps isn't working, Mom. What do I do? No, but I'm trying to make up for the loss of a road trip. Okay. Sometime soon. I think the Wienermobile would be a perfect fit. So Oscar,
you have
hire me.
The 30th. Why not apply?
Yeah, maybe I will.
So I drank because I can't wait to say, "You want to ride in my wiener? You want to ride my wiener?" and see all that reaction right there. That would be the best pickup line ever. Besides,
I love Bacardi. I hate the Wienermobile. I hate it. I loathe it. If it came to town, I would try and slash its tire. I would try and slash its tires. Yeah, I hate the Wienermobile.
Would you relish in slashing the tires?
Relish?
Can we catch you up as you do it?
Ketchup. Yeah, ketchup.
Why do you hate it?
So I was working overnights in Knoxville. I had them booked to come on my show.
Those are phrases that gay people normally don't hear.
And they should not.
Overnight, Knoxville, Tennessee. Okay.
I had a 2-hour morning show. I had them scheduled for 8 hits over 2 hours. They never showed up. They got lost when I called the PR agent. Turn on the TV. They're at my competition across town.
No, they weren't.
Girl, yes, they were.
Girl.
Nathan's?
But like, Like that, really?
That really happened. I have held a grudge for 26 years, and I will continue to hold it.
You mustered up a lot of anger over the years.
We can help repair the community editor at South Florida Gay News, so he'll stop the hate.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you hate footlongs too?
No, well, it
job.
depends. If they're Nathan's.
You know, when we decided to include this in I'd Swallow That, one of the things that we talked about is how will Oscar Mayer as a brand embrace this? I'm really curious to that answer because we're playing with the Oscar Mayer wiener in a way that probably Oscar Mayer as a brand never thought of in terms of this big, gigantic vehicle.
Yeah. I want to put a cock ring on it.
No. I want to see it spit. Like I want to see like this mustard spit, this custard spit. Like
we give you mad respect, Oscar Mayer and the Wienermobile, and that's why we celebrate this moment at I'd Swallow That. All right, let's move on. We're not even a full week into 2023.
What?
And a new reality show already has the internet in shambles. That's not a good thing. This week, MTV protended to the arrival of the Real Friends of WeHo. Gosh, that sounds like it should have housewives in the name. A clear riff of Bravo's Real Housewives formula that will see a group of successful and mildly famous gay men living, laughing, and loving in the infamous LA gayborhood. A brief teaser clip announced its January 20 premiere date with a cast that features celebrity stylist Brad Goreski and beleaguered musician choreographer Todrick Hall, among others. But it's Hall's inclusion that has really rankled gay Twitter's collective ire due to the controversies he has had over the past few years. But that's not the only issue folks have with the show. The show is rubbing fans of RuPaul's Drag Race the wrong way and has upset other fans for allegedly booting a potential star because of his links on OnlyFans. Watch this.
West Hollywood is the epicenter of the gay world.
MTV is taking you into the real lives.
You ready?
Of Six Fierce West Hollywood friends.
She has lived, let me tell you. It's hard being a public person and be a good example.
I think the word you're looking for is scandal. Yeah, I've been involved in a few of those. I'm just gonna let people know my truth.
A lot of y'all probably know my husband. He pushes me to be more creative, more adventurous.
If you like the wives, don't miss these new house guys.
The gays just do it better.
We know.
The Real Friends of WeHo. New series premieres Friday, January 20th at 9 on MTV.
Here we go. Question 4. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. The Real Friends of WeHo is going to make enemies out of Drag Race, OnlyFans viewers, well, and just about everyone else. What do you think?
Hold on, let me get my 3 shots ready. Hold on, sorry.
I don't know about make enemies, but I mean, I'm not interested in watching the show.
Why is that?
I mean, it's just not interesting to me.
Why?
Number one, I'm really selective
you
about.
told us you had 50 board games. It's not interesting.
No, it's not interesting. Number one, I can't keep up with my queue and like the amount of Netflix shows and HBO Max and everything else. Like I have so many other shows that I haven't watched yet. So this one doesn't make the list. And I just don't really think watching a bunch of gay guys, you know, parading around and making themselves a jackass, you know, in West Hollywood is entertaining. Yeah. I see that here every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. Well, you know what? RuPaul was getting a little bloated. It didn't need to be 90 minutes. So, okay, I'm okay with that. But, God, I hate Todrick Hall. Do you know what my level of hatred towards Todrick Hall is? Like Wienermobile. It's Wienermobile level. That's how much I dislike him.
Why do you hate him so much?
Oh, God, I didn't like him on Idol. I have really not liked him as Taylor Swift's best friend. And now that they're not really hanging out all the time, oh, thank God, I thought he was going to go away. And crap, now he's back. Screw you, Todrick Hall.
Listen, it's a bad show when he's the A-lister on the show, guys, okay? Let's be real. He's the only name I knew, and I was like, eh. You know what I mean? I don't think the show
remember when I got,
and I'm mad that it was disrupting my time with RuPaul's Drag Race.
Speak on that.
Every
Speak on
commercial
that.
was these stupid boys from WeHo. A bunch of white guys and Todrick as the dark
token.
one, right?
That
Like,
one, the
seriously,
token.
this is what you're trying to sell me?
Yeah.
I'm not watching that crap.
Did you just flip?
I did.
WeHo off?
They should be real guys in Wilton or something like that. That would
speak on
be
it,
more.
yes.
That would be more real. Like
Right.
this just seemed like it just seems so real. It's unreal. They don't
Very
live in WeHo. None of that. Just like they threw them together, and it just seemed like I'm not gonna watch it.
I read a post that I thought it was a hilarious post. I read a post that the reason why this show got created is that West Hollywood happens to be Hollywood adjacent. And as a result, it was the easiest possible thing that they could possibly do.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
So unbelievable. So sibling, I'm with you. I'm gonna push you off the camera right now because I want more RuPaul time. Having sat with Al for like these past couple of months, I am now a true RuPaul fan. So so for tonight only, we are not feeding your bank account every time you mention RuPaul. Just for tonight only. However, let's give these girls an opportunity. Don't cut my RuPaul time because I want to see these girls, their creativity, their inspiration. Their inspiration to others, too much Bacardi. Their ability to do the thing. If we cut that to an hour and give these fake folks who none of us know, none of us see in real life, all it does, and I'm all about giving inclusive opportunities for everyone, but none of us know what those folks look like.
Listen, MTV just put another 16 and pregnant in that spot, and we're
done. And we're done. Yes.
16 and pregnant OG, 16 and pregnant the past, 16 and pregnant coming up, 16 and pregnant back to school, and then just put RuPaul.
Give me my
in the middle,
90 minutes
we're done.
RuPaul, and we're done. Absolutely.
Brad couldn't even pick as Rachel Zoe's assistant. So I mean, what's so interesting about watching him on this show?
Listen, I'm not a reality TV girly in the first place, but like this is pandering. Like it looks dumb. It looks stupid. It looks really boring.
Speaking of dumb, this has been done before. Now, it's not that it's been done because of The Real Housewives. The Real Housewives is really quite a credible franchise. Even as terrible as it is, it's a very credible franchise.
Absolutely.
This is not. And it's been done. And it was called A-List New York.
That's true. Absolutely. I forgot about that. Absolutely.
Now, at the risk of Reed from Elimination, at Sawmill, I brought the entire cast of A-List New York into Sawmill, and we did one of the shows there at Sawmill. And the queens, I will say the queens of A-List New York were there, and it was really a difficult situation because the personalities that are going to be great in that kind of reality television generally are not great as human beings or people that you want to interact with. And I had very close association with that. And it was not a pleasant experience to do it. And I spent all weekend, we spent 4 days together and did this event at Sawmill with A-List New York, the entire cast. And this is a cheaper knockoff of that 5 years later. And
Without the New York backdrop.
yeah, without the New York backdrop. And
that was horrible to begin with. Can you imagine?
To Santa Monica Boulevard, but it's not Manhattan.
It's not at all.
It's just not. So we'll see. We'll watch. We'll give it a benefit of the doubt. The one thing.
You speak for yourself.
Speak for you. Our love relationship has now ended.
The one thing I've got to give props to Todrick Hall. He came in and he did a concert at the Manor on Wilton Drive, and it wasn't very good. He has come into Broward Center, and he's done a very good job in the full production show. And
he did Pride, remember? He did Pride.
That's right.
He did Pride here.
And his video, Straight Outta Oz, with RuPaul, that video, music video that he did is outstanding for the genre that he creted.
Well, maybe he'll be able to pay his bills now.
Okay. Well, explain that, Reed, because a lot of people won't know the Reed.
Because Todrick Hall doesn't pay his bills.
He didn't pay his rent or something.
Or
For like a year.
Or his dancers.
He doesn't pay. Production. He doesn't pay any of his bills. So
So to quote Faye.
Exactly. Okay. All right. All right.
And we must give him that finger. We must give him that finger.
All right. The Real Housewives.
Now you're sneaking in another Oscar Mayer
We
fun.
have a
Not
lot
even
of
the same
hope
story.
for The Real Housewives of WeHo. That is the name of the show, right?
No, Real Friends.
Okay. All right.
Friends of WeHo.
Whatever.
Get rid of it.
All right. Just like LGBTQ+ on Wilton Drive, we are taking a lot of shots tonight. Let's take a momentary break and hear from our sponsor, Bacardi Rum. All right. Well, welcome back and thank you, Bacardi. Prince Harry's memoir, Spare. It's out now. And not only did The Guardian get its hands on the copy first and publish exclusive extracts, but the Spanish version of the book apparently hit some bookstores over the weekend in Spain early. In one section, Harry talks about his penis. He says sections of the media had a fascination with his and his brother, Prince William's genitalia. Yeah, of course. And whether they were circumcised or not. Harry writes, quote, this is directly from the book, there were countless stories in books and papers about Willie and me not being circumcised. And by the way, when he said Willie, I was like, what? End quote. Harry says the stories are inaccurate and he's been snipped. Question 5. With the Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. I bet Prince Harry is cut, but Prince William is bigger.
I think Harry's got it, long and strong. I'm sorry. I think his is bigger than his older brother, the king.
Well, there's something to be said for the royal scepter.
So I drank only because, he got Meghan. So, I mean, clearly some things happening down there where he can handle all of that. And I like the Bacardi.
He gets the television star.
He gets times 4. Yeah. 4 stars, clearly.
Okay.
And the fact
you gave her 4 stars as a television star?
No, I gave his penis.
Oh, okay. Oh. No, sorry. 4 stars. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you there.
I'm with you, yeah.
Bacardi, yeah. Bacardi, yeah.
Sorry. You drink and I get drunk.
Right,
how that works.
Because you're my sibling. We've already getting tired of that. America, watch out. We think way too much alike. But what I loved about why I drank because we talked about I love any time we talk about anatomy. But then the frostbite, him being, his penis is so long.
Explain the frostbite. A lot of people will not know that. That's also breaking in the books.
That is breaking in the books. And talking about how he went to the North Pole in preparation for a travel before he went home to his brother's wedding. And he got frostbite on his ears and his toes. And what they didn't talk about was his penis. And so what I can imagine was how long has his penis had to be in order for, and or how exposed his penis had to be. As someone who has his penis have got sunburn before, I can only imagine the amount of exposure. And who knew?
Put some sunblock on him. What is wrong with you?
Who knew? But who knew that
Your
the penis could do?
got sunburned?
Oh, my penis. And it shed. And it got scabbed. Who knew?
Like a snake.
Like a snake. I was about to say, that wasn't sunburned. Those scabs weren't sunburned.
No, I promise you.
Do we care anything about the royals? No. Do we care anything about the royals? We do? Why?
Oh, yeah. Because it's a millennium-long running soap opera.
It's a soap opera. That's what those people pay for.
We literally study them in school.
Exactly. Whatever that royal taxes that every citizen in the UK pays, it's for their entertainment, which is why, it's like that whole press fight between them and the press. It's sad. It really is. This agreement that they have that the royal family basically belongs to the press, and their press is all tabloids. So they can really say whatever the hell they want and make somebody's life impossible. So much so that they would leave the country that they're from.
To that point, what's really, really interesting is one of the things that I keep reading this week is who cares, who cares, who cares? Wait, this is a big deal. It is a big story because we have never seen in history. Look at what his mother went through. And Diana never talked about what was really going on. He talks about William and getting into a fight with William and William knocking him down and him not getting up. What kinds of things happened to his mother that we have no idea that happened? Royals don't talk this way. Yeah. This is the first time we've ever seen this glimpse of going, wait, there is as Jerry Springer as everyone else is. And he's the first one that does it. So it's a big deal because of that.
I'm the most shocking thing of this book for me is that it even exists because Harry's whole life has been shaped by the death of his mother and the years leading up to it. And that he would go full tabloid, which is really what this is. You know, he's making the rounds of respectable news like CNN and ABC and all that. But this is full tabloid. And that he would embrace this and unleash it on his family just shocks me given his history.
So I am not the monarchy. They can give it to them. However, Diana acted out. She didn't talk. She acted out. Yeah. So she was very much that go against the grain. She did the whole relay race. She did all of that the monarchs couldn't do. And so I'm not surprised because it was always needed. It is needed someone to come and push the grain and say, this is the craziness that's built, that the country has built for us. And the monarch leaks all this up to stay relevant. The racism has always been there. The craziness has always been there.
And
of course, Al created it. Did you know?
He wrote it and
I'm
directed
curious.
it.
I'm curious.
He cast RuPaul.
Team Harry or Team William? Team Harry or William?
God, I hate
Harry,
I hate
quick, it's
gingers.
quick.
I don't like gingers.
Quick.
So
Harry or William?
William.
Team, you're William.
William.
Team William.
Harry all day.
Harry.
All day.
Harry.
William's
all day.
ugly and
Team
bald.
Meghan.
And for the story, I wonder if his butt has like red hair as well.
of course.
It does.
A fuzziness.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's why you and I. Oh my, stop it.
One other question related to this: Harry and William. William's going to be king.
Love you for Meghan.
You know,
Thank you.
Dad is going to die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someday. So William, assuming that the monarchy continues, and it's going to, William is going to be king. But do we like the bad boy or the politically correct boy? The bad boy is Harry. The politically correct boy is William.
William doesn't have a choice, honey. William's life is already set for him from the moment he was born.
Yes.
He doesn't get to have an opinion or anything.
I agree with
and so
that.
he's probably super jealous of his younger brother that has had a little bit more freedom than him because, again, understand, if something happens to William, right, Harry still wouldn't be king. It would be William's children, his sons or whatever.
Do you all agree with that?
Yeah, he was born with a responsibility.
And I also think that as parents and children, you always navigate to one parent versus the other. I kind of see Harry going towards Diana and then to the prince. And so therefore, I agree. When we're seeing that's where Diana would have been, I firmly believe Diana would have been to show all the secrets had she been given the opportunity.
And if she was still alive, I don't think that they'd be fighting like this.
Absolutely, I agree with that too.
Interesting. Okay, all right, let's move on. RuPaul's Drag. Have we
More
RuPaul?
RuPaul?
Remember, we're giving him a privilege. We don't have to pay anymore. We're not paying anymore. Not tonight. Tonight, we're
We just watched the clock. We have to get a number of seconds.
Yeah, that's all.
Wait, who's sponsoring the show? We're Bacardi.
RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15 is here, and the competition is already hot. Well, at least the competitors are. Amongst the sea of queens that are vying for the trade of the season are TikTok beloved twins Cooper and Luke Coyle, known as Sugar and Spice. They have a strong, and I know, Max, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I actually do. For once.
For once. Following. Did your voice go up 3 octaves?
Yeah, I was really excited.
Oh, you're really excited. All right. They have a strong internet following since their coming out video to their mother went viral. The teens have taken their love of the limelight. That's their number one credibility. Appreciation of drag. That is number 2, by the way. And their natural twinkiness. Max is now listening carefully. And made themselves into successful drag duo. While the queens are most known for their funny transformation videos, their performances are as fun as the queens themselves. Watch this.
How to get a drag race. Be a basic annoying twink. Remember, you're gonna need a gimmick.
You little flop.
Never perform in a club and only make silly little videos in your bedroom. The fans are gonna love that. Be talentless, like us. Speak for yourself, sweetie. And that was bad advice with sugar and spice. Ooh.
RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, buy one, get one free. Question 6. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Drag Race twins are the best thing for the show since Sugar and Spice.
Yes.
No.
I like them, but I don't think they're the best thing, okay? I mean, I was giving them a bad rap. Like, once I knew that they were coming on, I was like, okay, do they get to be together? No, they're going up against each other. They're each individual, even though they're coming in together, right? Okay, have they ever performed anywhere? Nowhere. They've never performed nowhere. They've only performed online for their TikTok followers and on social media. And I was like, these bitches are gonna suck, you know? And they did pretty good. I mean, they looked impeccably beautiful. Their makeup was incredible. Their bodies are on point. They're forces to reckon with. They really are.
Do they have a chance?
They do, and I'm so surprised. Like, me and Cal saw it at Hamburger Mary's for the viewing party last Friday, and I'm like, all right, which one's going home first, sugar or spice? Like, for sure, we thought one of them was going home, and now, I don't know. I don't know.
So you hung out with her.
Yeah.
First off,
You stood me up to hang out with Cal.
and what did you think? Sugar and spice?
So I was actually a big hater of theirs leading up to the premiere because I'm like, oh, they're, of this new generation that's always on social media. And
Look at Maxx.
Hasn't done anything and, haven't performed like, you mean you've never performed, before in a club or on a stage, but here they are performing on the biggest drag stage in the world. And I was very impressed. Their looks are flawless. They're super talented. When they came out for the catwalk and even for the challenges, it was perfect, in every single way.
This is a shameless way to try and get MTV somewhat relevant in the 12 to 24 demographic again. Because you know who else has on-point outfits and excellent makeup and looks good? Hundreds of other drag queens who have been out there performing for 3, 4, 10 years. Yeah. They've worked it, they've earned it, and these two are coming in. I get why they're there. It's complete and total bullshit.
It surprises me, real quick. It surprises me that MTV doesn't try the exact same strategy to put Jean-Benet Ramsey back on the air because they would get. Oh wait!
Wow! Wow!
So I did not drink because yes, talent, yes. However, can we close caption whenever they talk? Because that's the norm. Like, how many white privileged folks can we hear on TV that whine? Hey, no, sweetie, can we move on? So. I think they will be there, but we all get tired of that, all that foolish, all that whining, and we're gonna be like, enough.
Yes. Listen, let's look out for the black and brown, okay? Jax, Malaysia Baby Doll.
God, Baby Doll,
STTs is blowing everything up.
Malaysia Baby Doll, you think is in the running?
I think she's. I mean, you know what? Initially, when I've seen her perform here, and I was like, oh, she's okay.
Now wait.
Okay.
The people on Santa Monica Boulevard tonight would be saying the exact same thing that we're saying about Sugar and Spice of going, no, we hated them.
Because Malaysia's ours, you're saying?
Yes, exactly. And her experience, she has minimal experience. They would be saying in New York and Los Angeles the exact same thing about her here in South Florida.
But no one really knew
her here.
But
she was hardly known.
We were at Hamburger Mary's and no one even cheered for her until she said she's from Miami. And then everyone cheered. They're like, oh, she's from Miami?
No, but
no one ever heard of her or seen her before.
She designs. Her heart, like she was that person that was behind the scenes who was always in community, but always didn't have the face, never had the opportunity. And because of size, those queens don't get that forefront. And so I do agree with you that she's going to be a voice, because she has personality.
And she has
an opportunity. And so therefore, the Kobe, that Kobe performance was off the chain.
Let's come back to Sugar and Spice
you're
a moment. All right. So Sugar and Spice, you hated her before. You probably hated the two of them before, and now you watch the premiere and you go, wait. You look at that and the opportunity that they get out of the gate to get on to RuPaul's Drag Race, and then you think of Athena Dion.
Athena ain't crying. She got money in the bank, Al. Athena ain't crying.
Okay.
Trust me. And again, like we've spoken about before, this is a scripted show, okay? It's a plotted show. They have roles they need to fit, and that is where they put these queens in there.
Right. But listen, like for across the board though, we should not be knocking like TikTok and Instagram queens. I mean, I would love
said by our
though,
aspiring Instagram and TikTok queen.
But I would have loved if they had picked.
One sec. No. Hold on one sec.
There is no shortage. There is no shortage of Instagram and TikTok queens that are not white queens.
Talk about it.
That are not white queens. They could have picked. They could have picked.
I'm getting ready to stab you in the heart. How many Instagram fans do you have?
On Instagram, I don't have a lot of Instagram. TikTok, we have a little 51K. A little 51K.
51,000 fans on TikTok. We shouldn't be knocking all of those people that.
But I'm not a queen though, right? Like I'm not planning on getting on RuPaul.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm not
queen.
a drag queen. I'm not planning on getting on RuPaul.
You are
Maybe you should think about it.
Bitch, I would support you, so I got you.
Wait. We have to move on. All right. Mic drop. All right, there we go. That's I Swallow That this week.
Wow.
Next up is a segment we call Best Thing of the Week. 51,000 TikTokers says, we've got to celebrate the TikTokers.
I've seen some good ones.
Not
though.
self-serving. All right. This week, Dolly Parton joined the cast of Call Me Cat. Wait, I may have too many shots.
Oh, y'all.
Cat in paying an emotional tribute to Leslie Jordan, and it left fans in tears. Jordan, who died in a car crash in late October, was one of the main stars of the Fox sitcom. The episode honored the late actor and his character. The winter premiere concluded Phil's storyline, giving the character a happy ending. It was shown that Phil and his now husband, Jalen, opened a bakery in Tahiti, and the couple has planned to remain in the country permanently. Dolly Parton, also a friend of Jordan, also appeared briefly in the pre-film segment as part of the tribute. The country icon sang a verse from their song, Where the Soul Never Dies, which was Leslie Jordan's 2021 album. Companies coming before addressing Jordan directly, saying, quote, because there is that place on the other side, and I'm certainly going to see you there, little brother, end quote. Watch this.
What we've done here is we've given Phil a happy ending. What we're really doing is mourning the loss of our dear friend, Leslie Jordan. He is irreplaceable. We will miss him very much. Love. Light.
Leslie.
Call Me Cat breaks fourth wall with Dolly Parton, an emotional tribute to Leslie Jordan. What do y'all think?
That was the best part of every single episode of Call Me Cat. I feel so bad. Like I was a big Leslie Jordan fan. So and I also was a fan of Mayim Blahnik. I can never say her last name correctly because I really liked her on Big Bang Theory, right?
Yeah.
Loved her on Big Bang. So I was like, when she got a show, I was like, cool. And she's really smart in real life, you know. So I was like, all right, cool. And she was executive producer,
Jeopardy.
and she was on Jeopardy and all that. But it just wasn't funny, you know? And I thought that Leslie Jordan's character would bring some kind of good spice and some funny LGBTQ plus humor. It was awful. Like the show just sucked. It had cats in it. I'm a big pet lover. It sucked. It was just bad. It was hard to watch. So this was the best segment in the whole entire show, unfortunately, you know? Leslie Jordan gave that comic relief, right? And there's no way anybody can fill that role there for sure.
Can I tell you, I got to interview Leslie Jordan a few years ago. He had another show on Fox. I forget. Equally as forgettable. but one thing we talked about, his character in that was gay. And he talked about how happy it made him late in his career that he could play openly gay characters as an openly gay actor. Like his profession, like everybody knew in Hollywood, but to be embraced by Hollywood for who you are and to be able to play characters that represent at least some aspect of who you are was so important to him. And that it happened 5 years before he died is sad that it took that long, but I'm so glad he found that happiness. And personally, I'm just glad that I did get a chance to meet him, however briefly.
I loved how the show gave the viewers an opportunity to not necessarily mourn him, but celebrate his happiness. And so I like how they separated his character. We're going to love him for being happy with his partner. And then we hard stop. And then we're going to now mourn our friend. And what I loved about that is the reality in Kyla Pratt's face. Like, you know, if you often, when we mourn hard. And the person that I saw mourning like the hardest was that face, that love. And so I love how the show gave us the closure of happiness, but then let us not forget what our friend has now transitioned. We cannot forget that. And so kudos to them on that.
What was the happy ending that they gave him? He got to do a bake-off or a bake challenge in London or in UK
And
or whatever?
he found love. They went to Tahiti. He found love. Him and his partner found. Most of us, except the person who's still trying to date. I'm trying to date too. I don't know if I want love, but that's the goal that we all want: love, happiness, and marriage.
Yeah.
And he found it as his way.
One of the things, before we move on, that I think is so incredible about Leslie Jordan is it was a fresh reminder. I was kind of over this. Not to say that I was over Leslie Jordan, but the mourning process of his loss I was finished with. And this brings it all back fresh. And I just point out again the same thing that I've said repeatedly about Leslie Jordan. His genius, starting with Brother Boy, certainly, and many, many other iconic roles. But above all else, everything else he did in his career, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, the Emmys and the American Television Academy is going to show segments of his battle with Karen Walker and go, this is genius. You're watching genius. He is the only character. I cannot imagine someone taking on the character of Karen Walker like they did in Will and Grace.
I agree.
Genius. He will, for sure, be missed. Well, while the news of an emotional tribute to Leslie Jordan touched our hearts, this week also announces the beginning of another, are we going to talk about RuPaul again? All right, another RuPaul show.
I'm so glad Mankind is on pause. I'm so glad.
And by the way, Elimination, there's not a drag queen for miles. Hence, here we share one more best thing of the week. CBS unveiled its mid-season schedule in 2022, setting up plans to launch RuPaul hosting a game show called Lingo. The announcement came after ABC, Fox, and NBC also revealed their mid-season schedules. Lingo, which is based on a classic format, will be launched on Wednesday, January 11th at 9 p.m. Oh, wait. Isn't that right? Now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
While we are airing.
Kicking his butt. We just kicking his butt. Kicking his
now.
butt.
I dare you to change the channel. I dare you. Lingo is a cross between bingo and a word-guessing game, and the game sees teams of two contestants face off in fast-paced puzzle rounds to guess letters that reveal seemingly simple words. At the end of each one-hour episode, the two winning teams will make it through to a final showdown where one will walk away with an additional big cash prize. RuPaul comes to CBS primetime with a game show called Lingo. What do y'all think?
I think it's going to bomb. I think it'll finish out its 13-episode run, and that will be it. Game shows just don't do well in primetime. Sure, the summer replacement series, all that's great. But people want entertainment. They want scripted shows. And I just think it's going to bomb. Remember when NBC replaced the 10 o'clock hour with Jay Leno like 10 or 15 or 15 years ago, and they put Conan in that Tonight Show? It was a fiasco.
That was so long ago. No one in our audience remembers what you're talking
Max wasn't born for it. So, but no, I think it's absolutely going to bomb. And has anybody else here at the table ever met RuPaul? Okay, good, just me. So I got to meet and interview RuPaul as RuPaul Charles in full outfit. Yeah. And he's great and charming in and out of drag, and he can certainly carry a show. I just think that shows like Jeopardy and Price is Right are on in the time zone or the time slot that they are for a reason.
And to your point, evening Jeopardy and evening Wheel of Fortune don't make it. They can't do it.
Listen, mid-season, all right? Those are the operative words. This is just a fill-in, okay? RuPaul has been on other shows where he's been great, right? He's been on Gay for Play. He did that. That was just like a little, what? It was a show.
You said on shows where he's been great.
He wasn't great for you. Oh, I'm sorry. But he's been on Family Feud. He's been on Project Runway as a guest. He's been on a lot of shows where he gets to be himself and he's not hosting, and he's been fantastic. Okay, but for this, I just don't see I don't think it's gonna be a good fit.
So I don't agree with him being fantastic as RuPaul. So I think he flatlines. However, make that money, honey, because executive producer. So whether or not it goes to another season or not. Girl is already paid. So executive producer, host. So she's now getting double salary. So kudos for that.
2 checks.
2 checks, done. So bing bang. So the money that we owe her, she needs to pay us. So, but however, past season 1, yeah, I'm not for it. Will I watch it? No, because when RuPaul does the show about as RuPaul when they're doing when the queens imitate other people. Celebrity Snatch Game. RuPaul is the worst person out of all that whole entire panel because she's not funny.
You know what's crazy?
She tries to be, but she's not.
When I was growing up in New York, I would listen to RuPaul and Michelle when they had the radio show, and they were great. And it was a radio show.
Not on TV, but not on TV. Not on TV.
KTU, and they were fantastic.
Really interesting, and I just want to pose the point. RuPaul Charles is a different person than RuPaul drag queen. And RuPaul Charles, my impression is shyer and quieter and more reserved than the drag queen. And you hear drag queens repeatedly say, it allows me to put on a costume and become somebody else, and then I can do whatever I want. And I've heard that so many times, and I think about that in RuPaul. It's interesting in the exception to that issue in terms of how RuPaul Charles represents. You're listening, and I agree with you, by the way. Michelle is fantastic, period. And Michelle and RuPaul Charles on the radio are great. But RuPaul doesn't have to be RuPaul Charles. RuPaul can be anonymous, not watching, on just a microphone, and they can kiki, and it's great.
And forget that everybody's listening.
Forget,
just you and your friend.
And that's it. And the two of them, their interaction is what you're feeling.
Yeah.
This is completely different.
But I think we're missing a huge element of this is that, it's not just RuPaul, it's RuPaul Charles, and she's going to be on CBS. So I think this is an amazing platform for RuPaul to be on. So many more viewers are going to get exposure to RuPaul Charles like we've never seen before.
Why not? If that's true, why not be RuPaul? Why not be in drag?
Well, I mean, why isn't Ryan Seacrest out of the closet? I mean,
one of those things. Has anyone else at the table met Ryan Seacrest? Okay, no one good, just me.
Okay, so RuPaul.
We have Al Jr. here. Did I notice that? We have Al Jr. here.
This is the first time RuPaul branding himself as RuPaul Charles on network television in primetime. So who knows? Drag Race might be on CBS one day.
Okay.
Who knows? RuPaul might host
let's
the
grant that observation.
Show,
Tell us
one
what's
night.
going to happen. Is it going to be a success?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on.
If you had to say yes or no, is it going to be a success?
I mean, I hope so because
I heard hope so. Is it going to be a success? Yes or no?
I'll say yes. Only because I feel like
yes.
because of the name, because the amount of people who know RuPaul, especially we know, Middle America loves watching Drag Race. So maybe those viewers would be like, oh, RuPaul's hosting a talk.
He's been attached to other things that haven't worked though, Cal.
Yeah, but this is CBS, and I think that's what people are forgetting.
But
remember, this is not, some of these other shows he's been on, and it's not gay.
But he's coming as RuPaul.
It's mainstream.
I want this to be a success. There's no, don't get me wrong. I want this to be a success. However, if Alex Trebek cannot make it successful in prime time, how is RuPaul going to do it? RuPaul Charles. He cannot do it.
Well, he can because he's dead.
But I'm talking about when. Wait, that is a very good observation.
I was frozen in time. Like, did he just say Alex Trebek?
Nobody else even had my back. Nobody else had my back.
I couldn't breathe. No, I was there with you. I couldn't breathe. I was. Wait, I went 2001, 2002. Wait, nobody's going to pick that up. I was dead. I was dead.
2005. Wait,
I was dead.
Nobody's going to pick that up.
Nobody.
My point is, the stars at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. at Wheel of Fortune or not Wheel of Fortune, I'm sorry, The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Drew Carey's done nighttime. The show does not work at nighttime. Drew Carey can make The Price is Right work at 11 a.m. And it works at CBS, at CBS at Television City.
But anything is possible. I mean, Live with Kelly and Ryan moved from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and it works.
Well, Judy Garland encouraged us to go over the rainbow too. And
but it was the same thing. And so I kudos for you for saying that. Yes, he's going to see a whole new person, and maybe he's trying to branch to see whether or not he can stand out as RuPaul. However, Drew Carey, when he went to nighttime, he joined a whole nother show. Who's not anyway? A whole nother brand, a whole nother opportunity. So I think what RuPaul is trying to do is come out of the drag, come out of the wig, and see if he makes it. I don't think RuPaul is going to make it because he's developed a whole franchise of folks who's going to love him for that piece.
And won't allow him to do anything else.
Because we don't see him.
And RuPaul has to do it too.
Right.
We're going to watch this closely. And again, if there's whole group chat rooms that are going to kill me tomorrow for this segment.
Yeah, 60 and over?
And 60 and over is not a bad group, sir. I'm just saying, it's just not. There's 47,000 people in that group, and I talk to them frequently. But the issue is we want this to be a success, but it is an uphill slog. If anybody thinks that this is going to be easy, it is not going to be easy. So we'll watch it closely. And we wish RuPaul all the success. RuPaul Charles all the success for Lingo. All right, next. Each week at It's Happening Out, we ask our host about what is important to them. But there's a twist. Where did it go? I got to reach way over here.
I snatched it. I got tired of it.
All right, but the twist is that it's got to be in 30 seconds or you're going to hear that bell.
House of
and
Bubble.
this segment is called on What's on Your Mind.
Oh my gosh. That's the bubble beat. That's how it's pouring sounds, right?
By the way, Jet's Pizza is the LGBTQ+
Your pizza's
pizza
ready. Stop ringing.
for South Florida. What's on our mind is the deep dish style pizza, or perhaps the cauliflower thin crust pizza. There we go. Jet's Pizza has been with It's Happening Out for 4 years. They captured our hearts and our attention with their 4th season promotion of their campaign called Bigger is Better. And ooh, that deserves a bell. And of course, they are talking about their slices. Come on, Max, what did you think I was talking about? All right, Jet supports a huge variety of LGBTQ+ events and nonprofits with more than 400 locations nationwide and 35 right here in Florida. They are considered one of the best franchise opportunities in America. And South Florida's LGBTQ community loves the pizza. And this is why Jet's Pizza is our sponsor of What's on My Mind. All right, FayWhat, let's start with you.
I'm going to start with me. Yay!
What's on your mind?
FayWhat? So construction workers are on my mind, boys, all right? So a couple of years ago, we were doing construction on my house. And so me and Teresa had to go stay on the beach with one of my gay boyfriends, right? And so they're always doing construction in South Florida. So I was walking by some construction guys, and they were like, woohoo, mami, eso todo tuyo. Ven pa acá, you got some time for me? And so I get home, and I'm just like, I get back to my friend's house, and I'm like, ugh. These construction workers are out there, you know, cackling me or whatever. And he's like, girl, someday that might never happen again, all right? So you might just, you should like it. Anyway, I'm sad to say that now 3 years later, my friend has passed away. So I don't do resolutions, I do intentions. So now when I see construction workers, I open up my window and I go, hey, papi, eso todo tuyo. Oye, que sexy está. And if you look at the construction workers' face, they are so surprised. I did it right here on 9th Avenue.
Do they like it or not like it?
They're like startled, and then they're like, yeah. Right? Give those construction workers some love.
Excellent. All right, and John Hayden, what's on your mind?
This week on my mind, I just want to congratulate Happening Out Television Network for bringing back this show, It's Happening Out. Clearly, it went off the air in September when I was last on. And this is a very important show. It's very fun.
I've ever heard.
So thank you, Happening Out, for coming back and giving us all a voice.
Thank you very much, whatever your name is. All right, and Elimination, what's on your mind?
The GOP. Get it together.
God,
so after the soap opera that we saw, after the whole WWE SmackDown, the GOP in Louisiana puts Brittany Garner in their lips and condemns the fact that we brought her home. How dare you? You can't even get your party together. You as a party could not even talk about how your president left the gentleman in Russia there the entire time of his presidency. And they only disagreed with the fact, in their language of the resolution, that she was a gay, woke black woman. Once they removed the woke, everyone said, we don't want her. We didn't mean for her to come home. Come on, folks, stop it.
They're consistent to brand. Let's at least suggest consistent to brand. Thank you very much. And Kal Gajraj, what is on your mind?
So I'm super excited because this week I'm celebrating my birthday.
He's been celebrating all
all year.
Where have you been?
All year.
So welcome to 50, baby.
Ooh.
Wow.
Take a breath, Cal. It's okay.
Hold my hair.
Are you one? Are you two?
I think the second time I was breathless at this table tonight.
I know, but it commenced with having a really nice dinner with my friend Faye. We went to Los Fuegos at the Faena Hotel in Miami Beach, and we had a really nice time.
That's cool.
So thank you so much for spending my birthday with me. And I mean, there's a lot of festivities left for the rest of the month. I celebrate for the entire month.
Yeah, you're one of those guys.
I'm one of those guys, yeah.
Hey, you know, we have to say, we should reveal whether it happens or not. I had the pleasure of doing a recommendation this week for Kal to the very prestigious White House Fellows Program.
Nice.
And
He's gonna get it. I'm telling you, he's gonna get it.
Please, let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's do a little wish prayer for Kal to
What'd
be
you write about him?
recognized.
What'd you write about him? Anything good? Anything nice?
How many name drops did you put in this program?
I said RuPaul loves him.
That's all I need. RuPaul Charles.
Exactly. All right.
On CBS.
Exactly. Right. On Wednesday night, RuPaul will mention the White House. Yes, on Lingo. All right. And Maxx Fenning.
Oh my God.
On your mind.
So school just started. It's looking real hectic. So I'm taking this class, Statistics for Business Decisions. They made me download a VPN. Right? This is not. This is Statistics for Business Decisions, not a sponsored Emma Chamberlain video. I don't want to have to download a freaking VPN. Trash my Wi-Fi. You know, I'm Gen Z. I can't deal without the internet. I also go to school online. How am I going to do that? Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, my professor. To my professor. Fuck you.
Oh, a FayWhat. Times 3. Like, a mustard number. Yes.
You know what I can't help but thinking of right now is that moment is going to appear in the GOP's opposition research of the campaign commercial that they run against him when Maxx is running for governor of Florida.
Maxx Fenning hates public education.
He said it himself.
And before we move away from Maxx, let's take one more minute in seriousness. SFGN has suggested and decided and made the right decision that Maxx Fenning is the person of the year in South Florida.
Kudos.
In our community. And that is because, first and foremost, his stand and his work for youth issues against Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida for Don't Say Gay.
And trying to be his number one public enemy of Ron DeSantis.
I wish you would have used a different picture, though, Maxx. That picture of you looking up, you can't even see your beautiful face and the mustache that you grew over the holiday weekend.
Just for men, beard dye.
He's been coming at you.
He's been growing that since November.
Do you hear these people, Maxx? If you're going to be great in politics and be a U.S. senator one day, you have to recognize the haters at the table because that's all this is.
Oh my gosh! Maxx, what did you do to yourself? I love it.
All right, and also on our mind tonight is the great Jets Pizza. Watch this.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jets Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
All right, thank you, Jets Pizza. All right, our Hotspots magazine, our partners, will celebrate 37 years this fall, and it's been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and is the spirit of our Hotspots Queer Entertainment segment this week, and it's sponsored by the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. I assure you, Broward Center, there's no larger collection of lovers than at this table. Broward Center Performing Arts is tantamount at the top of the LGBTQ community. We always make jokes about size matters. And when it comes to the Broward Center, size does matter. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts is the destination of choice for the LGBTQ South Florida community for spectacular entertainment in large varieties of performance venues. Broward Center ranks among the top 10 most visited theaters in the entire world, presenting more than 700 performances a year to more than 700,000 patrons. Broward Center is the home of LGBTQ plus entertainers, shows, Broadway, national drag performances, LGBTQ plus choral events, and so much more. And Broward Center supports one of the world's largest gay communities. That's right here in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and really all over South Florida. They support that LGBTQ plus community and our nonprofits unlike any theater in South Florida. And we're excited to tell you in upcoming shows that are coming in the rich 2023 Q1 season that the Broward Center for Performing Arts will bring to the LGBTQ plus community. And by the way, did you know that surveys show that the LGBTQ plus community participates in live theater performance 2.5 times more than other straight counterparts? And if you counted this table, the number would go even higher. And that's why they are the sponsor of Hotspot's Queer Entertainment this week. Here we go. 2023 is here. It's queer, and it's got a ton of great LGBTQ plus movies to look forward to. Sure, 2022 was a barn burner, but the future's looking bright for gays at the movies. We've got star-studded biopics of queer history makers, raunchy comedians from up-and-coming talent, theater camp memories, searing romances, big screen horror movies, and a lot more. Here is the list of the 16 most anticipated films set to release this calendar year. Here they are: Bottoms, Cassandra, Challengers, Dope Queens, Fucking Identical Twins. Don't you love that title? I Saw the TV Glow, Knock at the Cabin. I can't wait for that. Love Lies Bleeding, Rustin, Scream 6. Can you believe there's going to be another Scream movie? The Color Purple, the musical. We can't wait for that. Strangers, Theater Camp, and movie by Julio Torres, which is currently untitled at the moment. The list is surely long and exciting. Our Hotspot's Queer Entertainment headline of the week. Here is the queer movies I'm looking forward to the most in 2023. What do we think about queer movies this year?
I'll believe it when I see them. A year ago, we sat here and we're told, oh my God, they, them, and boys are just going to change the world. No! No! I wasted so many hours watching anticipated movies.
Can I just say, let me just point out something that just happened. The community editor at South Florida Gay News just said, no!
Like
He
that,
waved
yes,
his
he
bony
did.
finger at us. No!
Judgmental.
There's a lot of hateration.
Although everything he just said was true.
Very much.
What are we looking forward to?
I'm actually looking forward to Rustin.
Absolutely.
Really?
People who don't know, that was the gay rights activists who led the
Martin Luther King.
Rustin.
march in Washington. So I'm really excited about those because I love movies with that type of storyline, with the historical point of view.
Yeah. Other kinds of.
What else did you say? Scary movie was in there too?
Yeah,
Why?
Scary
Why LGBT and scary movies?
Or Scream.
It was Scream.
Oh, Scream, sorry.
Yeah. They're all the same thing, though.
Yeah.
They kill the gay person.
And watch, yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Bury the gay strip there. That's gonna be the first person to die. I'm like, fall
I'm
dead.
gay. I'm queer. I'm dead.
Okay, just real quick.
And they're like, LGBT representation. We did it.
Just out of curiosity, what's gayer, this or, oh no?
That was the point.
So, y'all know me. If it's not Marvel or DC, I don't want anything but Bottoms. Invite me, give me some dinner and some drinks, and let's go.
And
I don't care what it's about as long as it's
You don't
Bottoms
care,
involved.
right?
It's so interesting you said
That's the dinner.
That's the dinner right there. Cakes all day. Cakes.
I have a Regal Movie Pass. We have a world-class movie theater complex here at Dania Point. Regal has come in with, the everything at everything. They've thrown everything against the wall. They have a VIP lounge that has a bar in it, unlimited popcorn, drinks, etc. A seating lounge of 200 people in the theater, and private access, private elevator to the theaters, to CinemaScope. 5 or 6 different kinds of theaters. It's really world class, and I have the pass to it. And I go to movies every.
Are you inviting us?
week.
What's this?
I am.
We couldn't even get it to the Sawmill, so clearly that was the dig he's been waiting for. But okay, Clay and I've been waiting to go. Like,
Wait.
when is this happening outgoing? Okay.
Wait, you say that like it's not true. The thing about going to the movies is the pandemic is over. It's over. Right. It's over. So turn off your television and get into the movie theater. Because the experience in big screen with sound and the different kinds of experiences that you have in big screen, they know they've got to lure you back. They are putting the money and where their mouth is. The experience is amazing. And if you haven't done it since pandemic, you are sitting on the sidelines.
See the Whitney Houston that way. Okay, go to Dania Point. I went on Friday. That's how I saw it. And it was on the big screen, and I got to hear, the music was just intensified, and you could just feel it in the whole entire place.
Yeah, and you go with 6 of your friends, and it's like, this is an event.
So Rigo needs to give us some couple dollars for all this plugging, but I also want to say that how Rigo is very intentional about the promotions that they're giving as you're in that theater and exposing you to movies that you would have never thought about going and seeing. When I went and saw Black Adam, They gave us the Wakanda. They gave us Emmett Till movie. They gave us so many, and they gave us interviews of people marginalized who have never gotten into this. It gives you that bait to want to go back. So I totally agree with you, Al. We got to go back. We got to support. We got to be in that space to hear that, to see that. So again, Bottoms and Best.
And you just mentioned
effing
it.
twins.
It's
Effing
not.
twins.
It's not in our topic here in terms of the
I have thought
LGBT
twins before.
movies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But last night, Golden Globes, Angela Bassett as the winner for Wakanda Forever. And, you know, and that's her last film because spoiler alert, she's killed. So a great tribute. And to see, I saw Wakanda. In fact, I knew when did Wakanda Forever come out? September,
I think.
Yeah, in September, with the person that I went with to the movie, we knew that movies were back in this kind of experience because in all of the times that we've been, we've gone to the theater in 2023, and we have repeatedly been the only two people in the theater. We went to Wakanda Forever, and not only the theater we were in was completely full, we couldn't get in the first 3 showings that we wanted to see because all the theaters
Woman King
were
was just
full.
like that. Absolutely. Oh
And-
my gosh, yes.
And Woman King was like that, and
gosh.
and Whitney Houston's new biopic is like that. Get back into the theater. It's an experience. Bring your friends. Go with Faye. You know, etc. And so
Listen, you know, I was so worried that like movie theaters are going to be killed by the pandemic. I mean, we have seen like cable. I already said I don't have cable TV. My family cut cable TV like years and years ago, and then increasingly we're seeing people do that. I was worried that like the pandemic was going to do the same thing to film, like do the same thing to going out and seeing movies because of streaming. But I'm happy to say that I think like Gen Z is still totally in on the experience, especially as it's expanding. Lexi, my sister, if you're watching this, I'm tired of watching pirated Jordan Peele films on the internet. I want to go watch the Whitney Houston film. Let's do it tonight. Thank you.
I watched Nope at
That's the one that we pirated yesterday.
Well,
you know you just admitted to a felony, right? Just FYI.
You know, if you're gonna want experiences like Nope, you have to pay a little money to go and do it. So basically, you're destroying America. Congratulations.
I know exactly. That's why I want to actually support the people, especially like things that are made and directed by people of color. I'm like, I don't want to do that for free. I want to actually go and support the people who are making this film.
So last thought, Bayard Rustin's story. Any other particular films in 23 that you just go, oh, that's going to be amazing?
Bros 2.
You're okay. Third time.
All right, and with that,
The third time that I've stopped breathing at this table.
So there is a movie that's not on this list, which is pretty exciting because Peter Boscudo, who is also an anchor on this network on Queer News, he's an actor, director, playwright. He is writing and producing and directing a film called I Remember. Today I signed on to be a producer on the film, so I'm really excited for that. And it's filming right now and should be premiering this spring.
Absolutely. Wonderful. And and Cal's going to be embarrassed, but I'm going to call him out and go, I don't care if you're embarrassed because
You're doing the film too.
it's I'm doing the sex scene.
Can I get a refund?
I just threw up in my mouth.
I was getting ready to compliment you. You know, Cal comes in as a producer and is going to participate and makes a relatively, and not relatively, wait, let me take that adjective away, a significant contribution to the financing of the film. And I congratulate Peter Boscudo because the first time I saw it, in I believe early December he did it, I thought, this is really a good idea. He reaches out to community and says, you know, I can't get this funded. I can't get this produced. I can't get this filmed. I can't get this into a theater unless you help me. And he reaches out in different ways in terms of credits in the film and how you participate in the film. And I thought Cal has come in a significant way, which I think is lovely. Peter Boscudo is a great friend of Happening Out Television Network. And Peter Boscudo posts today a beautiful message of, I'm in shock at what Kal Gajraj did to want this movie produced. And at the end of the day, my first reaction was, wait, it's love of film and it's love of our community. And this is how you step up. Now, you can, but you might not be able to step up in the way that Cal did, but it's intention. Whether it was $5 or whatever Cal did, it's the intention that we love the medium and the art form of film and we should support it. And even if it is only to go to Regal Cinemas at Dania Point, we should do that.
We should do it.
Faye and I should go and see Whitney Houston because the experience is lovely. It is lovely. And we can't get it sitting on our couch all by ourselves. We just can't.
No.
And Regal knows that. And AMC knows that. They're not going anywhere because they know it. They're going to do what they need to go, wait, we're going to make sure you have a great experience. That's exactly what Disney does. Disney is a success because they know what we want. We want more than sitting on our couch and picking up a remote control. That's what movies in 2023 are going to be. So, and speaking of Hotspots Queer Entertainment, here's a quick glimpse of the venues that are part of the Broward Center. Watch this.
The Broward Center for the Performing Arts, Parker Playhouse, Aventura Arts and Cultural Center, Rose and Alfred Miniachi Performing Arts Center. 4 venues that together bring a wealth of excitement to our community through the performing arts. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts is the center for world-class live entertainment, arts education, special events, dining, and more.
And thank you, Broward Center for the Performing Arts. Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out Television Studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 every week. Watch this.
Hello everyone, my name is Francia. I am an Afro-Venezuelan singer, songwriter, dancer, healing through music. You can find me on all social media platforms at Francia Canta, and you can find my album Infinita on all music streaming platforms as well. That's Francia Infinita. And Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
All right, next up, if we were standing around the LGBTQ plus water cooler, this is what we might all be talking about. It's sponsored by Hot Topic. Hot Topic is an American retail chain with nearly 700 locations specializing in counterculture-related clothing and accessories, as well as licensed music. Hot Topic represents many varied interests of the LGBTQ plus community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and more. Hot Topics features one of the largest collections of Pride merchandise in America that celebrates all aspects of the LGBTQ plus community. And Hot Topic is a major supporter of the diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBTQ plus organizations. Very notable is their support of the Trevor Project, the LGBTQ plus community's most important voice for LGBTQ plus young people. And that is why they are a sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. Here we go. Alcohol. Especially binge drinking is a real issue in the LGBTQ plus community. Giving up alcohol for the entire month of January is often a popular resolution to start the new year. According to a University of Sussex study, 71% of people who took part in what is called Dry January said they slept better. 67% had more energy, 58% lost weight, and 54% reported better skin. But let's be honest, just like any other potentially unrealistic New Year's resolution, this one is really hard to keep up with, especially when the queer weekends are around. Rise in alcohol prices or not, we miss having drinks with our friends, our family, and our chosen family. Our hot topic of the week, Dry January, is nearly half over. Do you need a drink?
Hey, hold on, Al. Wait, 1 second, Al. Hold on.
Yeah, Elimination and I saved some from the earlier
this one,
rounds.
right?
Yeah.
Cheers. Get it.
Cheers.
All right.
Now, I thought dry January was where you just kept mixing a batch until you ran dry.
All right, we're going to pretend we
tried.
didn't say that. Let's just pretend. You know, since he's not part of our regular cast, he doesn't understand that we're usually funny.
Yes,
He understands, so he doesn't get that, you know?
Yeah, that's why the show ended in September.
And we back bigger and better, and we back bigger and better. But it's okay.
You know, like I said earlier, as everyone that didn't make the cut. I'm glad.
And that
Wow.
Wow.
Point for Maxie.
You opened that door.
Yeah.
Listen,
did open that.
Dry January.
But
What do you
listen,
guys think?
okay, so for those of you, I'll let you in on a little trade secret. I'm 20, so this has been lemonade every single episode that I've been on. For me personally, my dad's a narc. Right, I don't even go to college in person, so I don't really get out to drinking a whole lot, anyways. So it's dry January, February, March, everything.
So you just dry.
I'm just dry. Well, only in some capacities, but
I appreciate the share. Let me give you another share. John and I explored the best wine bars in South Florida frequently.
We've seen you roll down Wood Drive. However, you know, so we will not diss anyone's yuck for yum if they choose to go that way. However, I will cheers to tequila, Corona, cerveza all day, every day. I still sleep well. I'm still exercising, keeping up with my New Year's resolution of living self-care. It's
Is
all
that
a
shirt a
choice.
medium or?
First, get off my tit. It's a medium, and so it's all in moderation and knowing your limit. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, knowing what makes you better. If it's more sleep, go to bed early. If it's more sleep, turn off the work computer. Turn off and remove yourself from that atmosphere. Again, some people need that to detox. And that's a fine thing.
And that's totally fine. I don't think that January should be the month to do it. Okay, listen, I'm the only one at the table in recovery, and I'll tell you this: that in January, my LGBTQ plus AA meeting is packed.
Like the gym.
With people I don't see past February, and then next year they'll be back in January trying again because November and December is when we see our families. Is when we drink too much in front of our families. Is when shit happens because we drank too much. At our office party, we almost lost our job. Everything happens around November and December, and all of a sudden people are like, "Oh my God, I have a problem. I gotta stop drinking," you know. And then that's what happens in January. You know, if it's something for health reasons, like you're saying, you know, yes, if you don't drink that much, your wallet says thank you, your skin says thank you, you do sleep better, you wake up to people you actually know. Personal experience?
Wait, are you making the case?
I'm telling my secret. I told you. Stop. I told you the secret.
So I mean, you know, if you know, for health reasons, it's a fantastic thing to do.
Broadly, does LGBT have a drinking?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my God! You know how many AA rooms we have? You have no idea where they're at. Las Olas is full of them.
Yeah.
And they're LGBT. They're not just regular AA meetings.
And okay, at one end, that's a representation of problem, but at the other end. You know, let's talk about 4 of the principal LGBTQ communities in the country: Santa Monica, West Hollywood, Palm Springs, Main Drive, Wilton Drive and Wilton Manors, and the Main Street Drive in Provincetown. The dominant component of all 4 of those communities are at bars.
So it's our safe space because that's where we can go to be with our like friends, get our entertainment, our queens can perform, our entertainers can perform, and be amongst people who are going to celebrate and salute them. They're not welcome into mainstream, and so that we can go in and be in that space. They're not welcome at libraries. They're not welcome at regular mainstream cinemas. And so we have to go there. And so what do you do while you're there? They drink. They're 2 for 1. They have this. They're throwing it at us.
Our community is very insecure. We're very anxious. We're very frustrated. And alcohol allows us to just chill before. Take a couple gummies and a couple shots. Now I can go to Hunter's, right?
Right.
I mean, that's a normal thing.
And I've been pent up all week long by being straight acting and trying to fit in as a person of color, trying to make sure I don't go. And so therefore,
you're not straight.
Well, you know, Al, we know when you put on this Al Ferguson person, you like RuPaul changing this whole new demon. Right. So, but we love you for that. Right. But anyway, I mean, but after a week of all of that, you have to let your hair down. And we talked about this in one of the shows.
But the question is,
leave it on
to
the
that
floor.
point, why do we have to do it with alcohol?
Well, because that's what we were shepherded to. I mean, everybody here, and I'm not making an age joke, but everybody at this table except for Max, where's the first place that you went to find community when you were, hopefully, if you were able to come out when you were young? we all went to the bars. You know, that's just where we went. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
And it's stress
No,
reliever.
if it's not alcohol, it's drugs.
Self-fulfilling.
It's not.
Yes.
If it's not alcohol, it's
I
drugs.
agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
As a good coping mechanism, you think that you're gonna forget everything that happened. You're gonna be able to deal with tomorrow. But what we don't get told is that after tomorrow comes, those problems come back magnified because now you have the headache, now you have the issues, and you have to still face all those issues not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we're ingrained in, unfortunately, into our society. That
Are we able to socially drink and it not lead to significant problems?
Sure, there's plenty of people that don't have problems. That don't have an issue drinking. You know, me and Cal went and had dinner the other day, and there was 2 bottles of wine, and that was between 3 people, and they were fine.
Yeah.
You know, it was a night of celebration for somebody's birthday, right? And you knew that's it. You're done. The problem with me, which is why I have 8 years of sobriety, is that I don't know when to stop. That line was always blurred. I always wanted more. It was never enough. And the recipe for disaster was never the same each day. So it led me into way worse problems than when I started.
So to that point, dry January, if we don't think that the commitment of a resolution of being no drinking for the month, or it's the wrong month, from your seat, what's the recommendation of what we do? If we recognize that the community broadly has a drinking problem, an alcohol problem, what is it that we think or recommend that we do? People are listening to us right now. I think I have a drinking problem, but I don't want to commit to dry January. What do we do? What do we
find other people that are in the same place as you? You know, a group. There's so many Facebook groups. There's groups everywhere that will help you. Find AA. Go talk to somebody. You know, there is literally a checklist online that you can Google. Am I an alcoholic? Okay, and it'll give you 10 questions. Out of those 10 questions, I said yes to 9 of them. Okay, and it says if you say yes to over 4 or 5, you might be an alcoholic, and it gives you information. Take that test on your own, and then make a decision. You know, is your life that affected? If when you go out to party the next day, you can't go to work, you are unfaithful to your significant other, you don't know where your money goes every week. If you have lost things, opportunities, jobs, people because of alcohol, then you've got a problem.
And you know, I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
May I also say a wake-up call for me? I went to the doctor, got blood work. The doctor said, "I can tell you're a drinker from the blood, alcohol." So that moment told me to come up with a checklist. You only could do this amount of drinks each time you go out. Once you go beyond that, go home, and you need to put yourself on some kind of identity where you don't go out maybe for like 2 weeks or whatever. So that way you don't go over the limit. So those reality checks, to me, changes those things. So ask the professionals, ask those people who are governed.
Well, and also think about your parents. Do your parents have a problem? Yes. Okay, almost more than 50% of the time, if your parents had an alcohol problem, there's a good chance that you might have one too.
And of course, I know AA, but my God, I respect your sobriety so much that I just respect the hell out of you for everything that you've done.
Absolutely.
And yeah, AA provides a general framework, but there's no one size fits all.
No.
You know, if you're lucky enough, you'll have a Faye in your life that you can go and talk to. If you're lucky enough, like Elimination, your doctor, which has said to me, stop it, but he's given up that fight. But talk to people who can relate to whatever your situation is, because everyone is different, and everyone's problem is different. Everyone's situation is different.
Yeah.
Max, I'm curious in terms of Gen Z or at 20, do you worry about, first, you having any alcohol issues?
I drink so infrequently. I know that there's a lot of people in my life who drink quite frequently that I've had to have conversations with because it's gotten in the way of things. But I think that when we're talking about a community that suffers from depression and anxiety and all of these other issues that are sort of placed upon us, I think it's no question that we would see a heightened risk of alcoholism or drug abuse and things like that. Like that's no surprise, I don't think. And that's something that I don't worry about for myself, but that I definitely worry about for the community.
How about broadly? You don't speak for all Gen Zers, but Gen Zers that are, when I was in college, I was a fraternity president, Sigma Chi. Alcohol was centric in my fraternity and all fraternities. Sitting at Gen Z at 20, is alcohol centric to your community?
I go to college online, so I haven't had like the college party experience in like any way, shape, or form.
But you live here.
But that, and I think that for people who are going to college in person, which I went to college in person for 2 years, that is definitely definitely still ever present. Like alcohol and is a driving force for a lot of behaviors in college, and so definitely, I think it still affects Gen Z.
Do you see it a lot in Gen Z? Alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy
No,
alcohol.
absolutely. I'm a weird little odd one out, but definitely.
Yeah,
We knew that.
We're up to speed.
We already knew that.
But it's a good deep throat, so that's all that matters. Hey, love you, Max.
But exactly, and I don't need alcohol. I don't need alcohol or nothing for that.
So in our conversation of evaluation of Dry January and what we do, two things that I hear at the table tonight, and I've read lots and lots about. One of the top contributing factors of alcohol and LGBT is family. You've said it. Family rejection and using alcohol to be able to deal with a family situation because of family rejection of LGBT. And alcohol is a frequent area where our community turns to deal with that. My father was a definite alcoholic, definite alcoholic. 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, physically abusive, kicking me across the room, me getting in between my father getting to a certain point. He was a manager of Sears Roebuck, getting to a certain point where I knew every night at this clock tick, he was going to be at this place, and where he would turn is all the things that he couldn't express in life then would come out because the alcohol allowed him to express it, and he would turn to my mother. And I would have to be between my father and my mother at 7 and 8. And as a result, the beating that I would take would be the beating that she wouldn't take. So I would divert it. The question would be frequently, does that mean that the child becomes the alcoholic? Now, in my instance, I'm pretty sure that that's not the case. But for family, that is the number one contributor because of our rejection in LGBT. And then as we're pushed, I have read repeatedly, and you identify it. We are pushed into bars. Our first experience in LGBT is in bars, and the 2-for-1s and the to overindulge is very difficult for people that have lived the kind of situation. That's the reason why I ask you, is Gen Z different? We imbibe and we take the drink much faster because we're pushed into a place where it is so easy to help numb the problems that we face in our life. So as a result, we're set up by our families, and then we're set up by our communities, and we fail because of it.
Yeah.
That's why we need Dry Januaries. Do we have a problem in our community? Absolutely, because of problem number 1 and problem number 2. And the experts say it over and over and over again. So the question is, if that's true, what do we do about it to try to break that?
Well, I think the thing about Gen Z, I mean, I think that I've seen a lot of people that struggle with abuse of alcohol, like especially in college, and that's why the joke is that you can't be an alcoholic if you're in college, which is not true. You can, and you should look into that. But I think that we're seeing younger queer people increasingly have spaces that are not centered in alcohol, where they're able to find community, especially online spaces where folks are able to find community that might not have it at home, where they can really feel supported outside of that sort of environment. And so I think that is the potential of lessening the impact of alcohol, like an unhealthy consumption of alcohol in young people. But I still think it's ever present.
I think you just have to be aware. You have to be aware, just like you should have been aware that because your father was this way, there was a high probability that maybe you would be. And understand that your vice didn't have to be alcohol or drugs.
Right.
It could be men.
Could be food.
Which probably what it was. Or it could be food.
Yeah.
Like any of those things can become an addiction. Anything that you do too much that is unhealthy is an addiction.
Yeah.
So maybe third time that you and I are probably going to be in a love relationship. Very much like you. Good luck. I grew up in a very similar situation. The step parent had a horrible job, a job that I think that he didn't like dealing with, and so he drank scotch, beginning of the day, and the night. And so I had to step in so that to protect. You all know I'm a mama's boy. I speak about that. But what that did for me was learning what not to do. So I purposely never drank alone because I saw that habit. I also saw family members, as a Native person, had to drink to cope to get through the day. And so although they were functioning, they had to get through the day. Again, it taught me never drink alone. But until we had these conversations to see that you are like me, this is what I did. You don't have to fall into that. You can still be successful. So what we can do is let's have these conversations. But FayWhat, I love what you just said, and it'll be very vulnerable, is I took my addiction to sex. So I had to go deal with that beating, so I needed to be loved. And so I went into places, into bedrooms, into corners that I shouldn't have. But it changed, although I didn't lose a job, I never got too far into it. But I still needed that next moment of passion. I still needed that next moment of where you were screaming. I needed to know that I did something. And so, but until we talk about it, that's what we can do. Be open to each other, talk about it, and say, you know what, you're not alone. Because until we take those barriers and remove color from it, guess what? Again, that's why this love relationship was going to end at the end of the show. That you and I, very much different, 65 and 35.
62.
But
not that I care.
But no, but the point is that regardless of how we grew up, and that we still had something in common, and we still survived it. And this is how we did it. Different opportunities, but same strategy. And we can take that to someone who needs to hear it.
So kind of in our hot topic this week, we identify that we see in LGBT that we have lots of initiation of addiction out of our family situations. We have lots of addiction because we're driven into a social situation in our gay bars because it provides safety for us. We've talked about that. We've talked about that it's alcohol, which is the principal topic that we're talking about, but it doesn't have to be the addiction of alcohol. It could be the addiction of sex. It could be addiction of drugs. It could be addiction of food. It could be addiction of being abusive. And there are other addictions that it could manifest. So that's why we look at the idea of dry January, but we're not really talking about just alcohol. We're talking about how we interact.
And we didn't even talk about the economic part of it, because alcohol is cheaper than some of the other drugs. So think about the economic part of it, how that plays in. So, because there was a time in the southern part of the country where you can get alcoholic beverage for $1.99 at the corner store. And that was a cheap high.
There is a bar on Wilton Drive that actively promotes a $1 drink night. Vodka, $1. Well, what kind of alcohol? I do not criticize the economics of the business decision making of that business, but what is that going to lead to? Well, we know what that's going to lead to, because you're going to come and for $1, you're not going to have one, you're not going to have two, you're going to have 8.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right? And now I love this, and I'm going to come back over and over and over.
And bring my
again.
friends.
So, and I'm going to bring my friends exactly with me. So I think we've identified that. I want to come back one more time, because I really do think probably you're the expert at the table in terms of the sobriety. You've told me stories that literally could curl my hair in terms of what which
he doesn't have a lot.
I love the honesty.
He's starting to get off. I'm sorry.
I love the honesty of what you have been through in your life. Final recommendations. So if any of these possibilities that we've talked about is true, your easiest to intermediate difficulty recommendations are immediately what kinds of things should we do?
Talk to somebody. Just like everybody at the table said, I'm no expert. Everybody here at the table is an expert. We deal with alcohol all the time. Alcohol is everywhere. If you're trying to stop, they tell us that you only have to change one thing, everything. That's what they tell us in AA. People, places, and things. Everything needs to go and change if you are really serious about changing your life for the better. Okay? But again, just because, you drink too much one day doesn't mean you have a problem. I don't want people walking around thinking that they have issues either, But the reality is that when you have a problem, deep down in the pit of your stomach, there's something wrong. You know that others around you drink fine and just on occasion, and that you hide those drinks. If you have a bottle hidden somewhere from someone, if you're lying to someone about the amount that you have consumed, there's a good chance that you might have a problem.
Yeah, and that reach out is you recommend a friend is the first recommendation.
For sure. Speak to someone. Call AA. Send me a message. I'll send you the direction. I'll send you anywhere in the U.S. I have gone on vacation to a bunch of places and gone to AA. AA is everywhere in every single language you can even think of. If you want, I only want to be with women, there's women's meetings. I only want to be with gay people, there's gay meetings. If you have a problem with meth, there's meth. If you think that you're codependent, there's Codependency Anonymous. There are so many organizations out there.
Last question in terms of your seat, of your experience over the last 8 years.
Have I wanted to drink? Hell yeah. You make me want to drink often.
Yeah.
Me too. Here I go.
I'll drink that.
This segment made me guilty about finishing my shot. Like I left it here the entire time.
I'm going to finish. But I am very sure I don't meet the standards that you outlined. I'm very comfortable with that conclusion. To the last point of your experience, okay, that's how the reach out takes place. Why are we guilty, or why do we feel guilty, or why do we think we're a failure in terms of taking that reach out step? What gets in the way for us?
Nobody wants to be called an alcoholic. Nobody wants to have a problem. As many stigmas as we have in our community, here's just another one to add to it. Here's the thing, alcohol makes us feel good, right? And it makes us feel what? Enough. Okay? And
that was earlier, sir.
I was about to look at you because you had that was the moment. We're constantly not feeling enough. We're constantly not feeling like everybody else, you know? And this alcohol kind of makes you feel good about it, you know? If there's one thing that I can say, it's just reach out to somebody. There is help out there. There is a possibility that you don't have to live this life like this, you know? I stopped drinking because I wanted my life back. I wanted my $200,000 paying job that I lost. I wanted the hot fiance that I lost. I wanted all that back. Guess what? I got none of it back. And I got a life way better beyond my wildest dreams that I would have never had if I didn't get freaking sober first.
Alcohol is somebody's drag. So we talked about the empowerment of the RuPaul. You know, when Elimination puts on his leather, he becomes a very different person than when Al sits at this table. Yeah. So that person becomes someone else. But the alcohol is someone's drag. And so that alcohol becomes empowerment for someone. And if you need that, dive into that and see how long and how much do you need? Because if you can't talk, we talk about Big Bang. The character could not talk to someone until he had alcohol. Then he became the life of the party. That set us up. Think about all the people who watched, who was growing up, realized, oh, I can be like him by just drinking. Horrible representation. So we see it, we get funneled in. We have to change that narrative. And Faye, what you just said is so amazing. Thank you for that.
I take one issue with what you said. You did get the hot fiance back, and she became your wife.
Oh, amen, amen, amen. Yes.
We're going to move on, but let's do a real quick recap. In our conversation tonight, talking about dry January, it turns out we're not talking about just alcohol first. We've talked about many of the leading reasons why we lead to alcohol abuse or consumption or other kinds of addictions. We've talked about what contributes in our community that causes it both outside of in the broad community and also inside in our LGBTQ community. And we've talked about why we're ashamed of what we feel like is a failure in our lives that represents the failures of the kinds of failures that people try to tag on us about LGBT. Those are all the big pictures I heard in this conversation. And then the final, and which is the most important piece, is if you feel that you're in any of these places, that you need to reach out. And the reach out is to a friend or to some experts that may represent the possibility of expert, and that could be somebody that has 8 years sobriety.
It really could. And like Max said, if you are shy or don't want to go somewhere, you can do all of this online from the comfort of your own bedroom.
Absolutely.
No shortage.
This is probably one of the most valuable conversations in 4 years of It's Happening Out I have ever seen. I hope this is valuable to that person that is hearing this conversation and says, they're talking about me, because we are. That's our hot topic this week. Next up, our game Shag, Marry, Chop. It is sponsored by Andrew Christian. Our game is a playful conversation about sex. We always like to have playful conversations about sex. Andrew Christian is a literal representation of that playfulness and the world's most recognized sexy fashion brand for men. Iconic names of the brand like Trophy Boy and its swimsuits and its underwear are just the start of Andrew Christian. It was founded by and dedicated to the LGBTQ plus community. Andrew Christian has become a status symbol for straight men wanting to adopt the lifestyle of Andrew Christian and what it represents. The brand's support of our community is unparalleled. Pride events, major parties, and charitable fundraisers, and many of the issues that have become critical to the gay community are all supported by Andrew Christian. And we congratulate Andrew Christian as the person for making this year's prestigious Out 100 list. His brand presence in pop culture, entertainment, video, and so much more is why Andrew Christian is our sponsor of Shag, Marry, Chop. And tonight, this time, our theme is the hotties who bring the party to Miami. Let's bring it home here to South Florida. And we have an interesting combination of those people that do that. Here are the picks. First off, Dreamland's New Year's Eve event, magnificent event that just happened with promoter Jake Resnickow. The party hostess du jour of 2022, the drag queen extraordinaire Athena Dion, and the amazing DJ Danny Verdi. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. And Cal, let's start with you. Who are you going to shag?
All right, so I'm gonna shag Jake because I think he's super sexy. Obviously by the video that we just saw. I'm gonna marry Athena because I think Athena is amazing. Even outside of drag, Athena as a boy is super gorgeous. And she's successful, she's smart.
Most people don't know how pretty Athena Dion is not in drag.
I'm going to wait for my turn, but yes.
Athena is a dear friend of mine, and I would love nothing more than to spend the rest of my life with her. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to chop DJ Danny because the whole DJ thing doesn't do it for me. He's going to be out late all the time. And that's not okay with me.
And his attentions are not on you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Max, you probably have not even heard of these three people, have you?
I've heard of Athena Dion.
Okay.
All
right. Yes. So who are you going to shag?
I'm right along. I'll 3 for 3 with Cal, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna shag whatever his name is. Normally it's on here. I don't see it. Jake. Yeah, thank you. Shag Jake.
Whatever his name.
Yeah. I don't know I know what he looks like. I don't know what his name. That's all that matters.
Most important LGBT party promoters in the world.
He can't get into the party yet, honey.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you shag him, it puts you on the list.
They'll put you on the list. There is no guest list tonight.
That's it's also strategic, right? Didn't even think about that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Still the shag?
Yeah, especially now. There's strategy behind it too.
Yes,
of course.
All right. And your Mary is
also
going to be Athena?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your Mary is Athena. And why Athena?
Look at her.
She would hurt you.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'd love every second of it.
I want to watch. I got $5. $5 OnlyFans.
All right, we're going on to OnlyFans. And Danny Verdi he's out, huh?
Yeah, for the exact same reason.
Music
I don't like
too
that.
late.
No,
Y'all don't like that fun.
Yeah, no, that's.
Y'all are playing board games.
Yes,
right?
we're playing board games.
Got it.
I love board games. 100%. Yeah. The new Clue. Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, that's another episode of It's Happening. John Hayden? John, who are you going to shag?
Okay, well, they're all bottoms, so I doubt I'll get really into one. So, but to play the game,
right.
I will shag DJ Danny because he'll be out late, so I can still do my grinder tricks and still be ready for him when he comes home.
Wait, you're going to shag him because you can shag other people?
Yeah.
Is that the logic that I just heard? Okay.
Yeah, he's a last call
You
trick.
must be really popular with men.
It's called. That's why there is a networking field on Grindr. Come on.
We're going to shag. We're going to marry Athena Dion because I don't think we'd ever have sex, and that's what marriage is all about. And therefore, Jake has to go. Has to be chopped.
Wow. Athena, Athena's going to watch this and she goes, wow, I just dodged a bullet.
I'll drink to that. That's what Athena's going to say. I'll drink to that.
Why am I still single?
Elimination, who are you going to shag?
So I'm going to shag Jake. He seems kind of fun. I think, the life of the party. I love all of that. Do what you do. I do what I do. We come back home, rest up together, and
Danny
rebuild.
is hot as all get
I am going.
Danny, we're just
you.
disrespecting you.
Can you
left
pause
and
for a
right.
second? Can you drink your drink and let me talk? Thank you, as you do. I'm going to postpone Athena because Athena is close, so therefore it could be easy that our paths could cross. I'm just going to postpone that. And I'm going to marry Danny because I think that Danny could be like that person that can help Elimination do what Elimination needs to do.
Okay. Danny, it's probably going to hurt.
Wow.
It would hurt, but well.
But the big news here, the soundbite in this news is Athena Dion is divorced. She's chopped. Athena Dion has never been chopped in her life.
And again, I've met Athena. We were social media friends. I've seen Athena, and I love all my queens. But that's why I said postponed because she's easier to get to.
Child.
You can
pick whatever adjective you want, but you still chap.
After you divorce, after Danny gets you to do the thing that you want to do, and then you divorce him.
I'm gonna still give him $1,000.
Going to Faye in a moment, but let me illustrate the horrible, horrible decision you have made.
Tell him, Al. Tell him.
Because you chopped Athena, you don't have the opportunity, like everybody else who was marrying Athena, to live in Mykonos.
Right? Yes. There's that.
Oh, that is that. That is that.
Bam.
Bam.
But you know, if you can fly for free, you can get there. You get there. But that's another story.
This is
but go
called
on,
a
keep talking.
two-step dance. Wait, let me dance. I'm dancing as fast as I can. Got it. Okay, all right.
No, I think Elimination just got a 5-year plan.
That's not our game. Wait, one more time. Elimination chopped Athena Dion.
Postponed.
Chopped.
It's still chopped.
Wait, let me look in my rule book. Nope.
It's not shag, marry, postpone.
Right.
Still chopped.
Then I got roses for you when I see you at our house. I got you, baby. I love you.
I got a feeling you're going to have to work a lot harder for your apology than that.
Right?
All right. FayWhat? Who are you going to
All right. So before, I'm going to say this is a game. So I'm going to put my relationship with Athena on the side and say, baby girl, I see you Sunday. Okay?
That part,
I'll
yes.
see you Sunday.
Yes.
We still you and me. But we got to talk about this.
but you wasn't.
Hold on, don't let me
You was all team out right there. Okay.
It's a rule breaker.
No, I'm not. Before you get all crazy, that's it. It's a game, all right? So I am shagging the F out of Stavros. Oh, my God. The F, okay? Stavros is Athena as a boy, all right? And he is beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Okay? Shagging Athena and Stavros in the same time would be fantastic. I don't know exactly how I would be able to do that, but all right, whatever. Okay, so then I am marrying.
Okay, you get my OnlyFans money. Forget him now.
No, I'm curious.
Oh,
so
yes.
you're with him, the boy, Athena. You've kind of split a hair, but I'll accept the hair split.
No. I'll do both. I would shag Athena and I would shag Stavros. Oh my God, they're both beautiful.
Flag on the play.
All right, and your shag of Athena, you're the top or the bottom?
The top.
And
of course I am. And with Stavros, I'm the top too. And she knows that. Athena, it's no big deal. Mom. You know, right? And she's like, bitch. Bitch.
Okay.
All right.
And that's exactly it.
I'll use the nice one. Okay. I'm going to marry DJ Verde because, again, kind of similar, right? I'm happy that you're out doing your thing. I need my space, you know? Come home at 6 a.m. and then we're good. You know, we're getting married, so you know. I know where you're going home. I know where you're going.
That way, we can still go to shows.
We can still go to shows and everything.
Teresa has to say that 7 days a week. You're coming home to me. So
there's that, right? And so then I'm chopping Jake because most of you like Jake, and I don't need him.
Faye is not one for
I was going to say, and Restigow is pretty.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
All right. With so much shagging, marrying, and
it.
chopping, let me remind you what we love about Andrew Christian. Watch this.
Show technology features a hidden comfy cup that acts like a cock ring. You put your dick and balls in, and it lifts up and up. It features our signature slimming waistband. It's great for everyday support, going to the gym, or just when you want to enhance it. Show It Tech adds up to 1.5 inches to your current frontal measurements. Show everyone what you're working with Show It Tech. Get it now at andrewchristian.com.
Production has just informed me that Athena Dion is on the phone and she would like to speak to Elimination. So he won't be on the rest of the show. Thank you, Andrew Christian. All right, it's time to say goodnight. So let's hear from our host for one final time. A good night from John Hayden, our guest tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You know, Al, you alluded to it earlier. We hit the town this last weekend, but we started at the new Happening Out Gallery. Support your local arts. We had so much fun. The new Hotspots Dennis Dean Art Gallery, new exhibitions every single month. Get out if you're in Wilton Manors, and if you're not, go to your own local art.
Yeah, it's fun and a great new addition for Wilton Manors and Wilton Drive. And a good night from Maxx Fenning.
I'm happy to be here 2 for 2 for 2023. Very, very exciting, especially after my very long hiatus in December. I'm sure you all missed me dearly. But yeah, excited.
He was gone?
Oh.
Person of the year.
I was I knew. Oh, we had a bet.
I was waiting.
When's the first time we're going to hear it?
Person of the year.
There you go.
Personality of the year.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. All right, you
F,
two.
but it was 2022. He's 2023. He wins.
Right. All right.
Big heads in the room. Okay,
And
move
Kal
on.
Gajraj, a good night from you.
So good night, everyone. It was so nice to be back. This was my first time back for the new year. I wasn't here last week. And I'm sure that everyone talked about like New Year's resolutions, but it's something that I've been thinking about a lot because I think there's a lot of pressure that everyone puts on themselves about being in a new year, a new me, and so on. But I really think that people should just focus on just being a better version of yourself and not putting so much pressure on you to be able to reinvent yourself every single year.
Yeah, excellent. And a good night from Elimination.
Well, good night, Kiki Humans. Love sitting at this table. We talked about supporting art galleries, but support our trans siblings, our people in our community. This shirt, Diesel and Company, says that inclusive is the future. On the back, pro-black, pro-choice, pro-brown, pro-trans. Anyone who's interested in purchasing this shirt, please reach out to me on IG. I will put you in company to this amazing trans, I can't call him sibling because I really want to smash him. But Diesel and Company is an amazing brother in a trans experience who's doing awesome work in the community.
Yeah, awesome. And a good night from FayWhat.
FayWhat. So what a wonderful show. I had a great time with all you boys. Even you, Max. I just really did. I really had a good time.
You say that like it's a surprise.
No,
Yeah, even you.
I love you.
Why are you not like an hour when you say that?
So happy birthday, Kal. I want to say
you.
that first and foremost.
Thank
I
you.
love you to pieces. And make sure that you watch the FayWhat show on Monday mornings. Listen, we talked so much about Athena Dion. Go back and watch my interview with her 2 weeks
In
ago.
bed with you.
In bed with Athena Dion, and you really get all the dirt on that woman. She is just so incredibly beautiful, talented. I can go on and on. This Monday we had Kelly Raspberry in bed. She is also a great, local drag queen that is just taking over. That bitch is taking over. So also watch that as well. And make sure that you come on back. Next Wednesday I will not be here. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys to be.
Who's going to be the buffer?
I know Al's happy. Okay, according to Al's contract, Faye needs to take at least 2 Wednesdays off and IHO for him to be happy.
The picture me and Al's head cut off.
Go get Kathy Griffin.
Maybe that's the new Kathy Griffin. Nobody should separate us.
Is that the only highlight of Monday's FayWhat show?
Oh,
and also John Hayden will also be. John Hayden will be on next Monday's FayWhat show. We usually talk about next week when it happens.
Yeah, when you're not here.
Production, why is John on the stage?
All right, before we move on into the closing, we all, on behalf of all of us at the table, all of our production staff at It's Happening Out, we send a shout out of love to David Hopkins.
Yes.
David Hopkins does so much of our production work and is so vital at Queer News Tonight and the FayWhat show. He's, by the way, the side piece voice. If you when you watch FayWhat, he's the voice that's the side piece.
He's my Siri. Like if I don't know an answer, I'm like, hey, side piece, and that's him.
Yeah, and he has to speak a lot because Faye knows very little about anything. And also here in terms of production, It's Happening Out, he's not with us tonight because his sister has passed away overnight, and we are sending love and thoughts to David Hopkins. Before we leave, we want to talk about, just for a moment, about celebrating the Pride of Americas on February 10th and 11th. As I said, before we say goodnight, we want to take a moment to talk about the Pride of Americas. There's a lot of stuff that we have been talking about, a lot of conversation in the community. Very deserved conversation in the community. But the inspiration of 2020 for Pride Fort Lauderdale has had a difficult number of years. Difficult. There was this little thing called pandemic. Do you remember it? Hopefully you've forgotten it because we're trying to absolutely. It forced the cancellation of the annual February event ever since 2020. But next month, it roars back, or it's going to try to. Led by Pride President Mike Martorell, the event needs just one thing now: for our LGBTQ plus community to rally in support. Conversation about what is happening at Pride of Americas, please do not confuse for lack of support. That's not what's happening. The community needs to support the Pride of Americas. Everyone at Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out television networks knows the importance of the success of this event, that it celebrates the diversity of the LGBTQ community throughout the Americas, however you define that. We just reported yesterday the breaking news of the landmark economic study on Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival and its $20 million economic effect on Broward County and more than 10,000 hotel room nights a great Pride Festival is capable of generating. So it's important to our community. But it is also important to our LGBTQ plus community beyond the business. And we take a moment to recognize this. This is the gayest place on planet Earth. Sorry, Wilton. We are the gayest place on planet Earth, and we should accept that. And sorry, West Hollywood, you're not. Pride on February 10th will begin with the Pride on the Drive on the world-famous Wilton Drive. Businesses all along what I call the LGBTQ plus Miracle Mile will celebrate our community. Hunter Stage will reunite Thunderpuss for the first time in more than a decade. The Alibi, Hotspots Happening Out television network stage will bring you the best of South Florida's local entertainers. And then on Saturday, February 11th, a parade on Gay 1A on Fort Lauderdale Beach will lead into Las Olas Intercoastal Promenade Park for the Pride Festival. And that night, queer icon Boy George will finally get to perform the concert that was planned originally in February 2020. He's been standing by for 3 years. Our community needs to support the Pride of the Americas, and we know the planned event is going to be a mammoth success with the support of major sponsors like Visit Lauderdale, Midland Health, CAN and CAN, Community Health, and dozen more. And don't confuse the idea that the exploration of the problems that we are pointing out or that the community is pointing out for lack of support. They're two different things. We want this event to be a success. Why? Because we need it to be a success, because it represents all of us. Pride of Americas, what do y'all think?
This is actually the first Pride Festival or Pride Parade in the state of Florida, started in 1977. So recognizing the history behind Pride Fort Lauderdale, not Pride of the Americas, but Pride Fort Lauderdale, which is obviously hosting Pride of the Americas this year, is super, super important. Recognizing that we don't go out in a dim light. Like we combust, we explode, and with beauty and love and passion in our community. And I think making sure that we can still do that this year is paramount.
And they will succeed. They will get it all together, and it'll be a fantastic Pride, and we will all be there, and we will all support, and we will all bring our friends and family. And it's going to be a fantastic couple of days.
Well, Pride is the opportunity where we try, hopefully, remove the segregation parts of the leather folks, our women siblings, our gay men, our trans siblings, that we all can find a space. And so that's why it's important, because even our DL brothers and sisters, put on that helmet, put on that, that hat, that helmet, that hood, and come out and support and be you. Where it's the only time that we can all be in one space and just be us and love each other without having the air of you're not welcome here, you don't belong, because we all belong, because under one umbrella.
Yeah, and I get it. It's not what they presented to us, right? We initially thought we were going to be on the beach and we were going to have this and we were going to have that. Okay, we're a community that is constantly shifting. We're constantly having to readjust when things get thrown at us.
Right.
And that's exactly what Pride Fort Lauderdale is going to do. Yeah, things have happened, okay? But they're going to brush the dust off and make this happen. Mike is going to take all the experience that he's had from the million trillion prides that he's been to and been a part of, and he's going to get this done in record time. I know it.
And I was talking with some people. In case you don't know, I have been covering the problems you alluded to extensively for
That's your job. That's your job.
You've done a great job.
Thank you.
In what
And it's his job.
And it's your job.
But I just want to say, I was talking with people all the way almost till we came on set today, and things are really starting to come together. I've had a couple people tell me today that sponsors, like last-minute sponsors, are coming in line. They're close, I think, to selling out all the vendor space. So people seem to be putting some differences aside and coming together, like you alluded to just a moment ago. So I'm optimistic for the next month. Whatever else is going on behind the scenes, I'll cover it and we'll deal with it. But it looks like it's all coming together, which makes me happy.
And I will share, as a part of the leather community, we were asked to be a part, and we will be there. how it looks doesn't matter, but we will be there. You know, at the end of the day, it's all about showing inclusion matters. You know, whether or not I'm on the front stage or marching in or just being on the beach, pride and inclusion matters. And so I think as Faye mentioned, we just got to go and enjoy the peace of mind that we can be celebrated for who we are and leave it there.
Yeah. And Prism's going to be in the parade. We're going to have a booth. It's going to be popping. Yes. Y'all better visit. Every single one of y'all. I got to hug every single one of y'all.
That's great.
And the parade is always my favorite part of Pride. And it's just so much fun to be there with all your friends and, you know, all of my allies come out and support as well because we all come out together. And it's such a great day with everyone.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I was part of the core. Faye's been a part of the core. Many of you have really been a part of the core of branding the moniker that we're the gayest place on planet Earth. And we have said it over and over and over and over again. We said it in episode 1 of season 1 of It's Happening Out. And I say it today in 2023. Because we are the gayest place on planet Earth, we all have an obligation to come out and support the Pride of the Americas, because it's important for our entire community. There are all kinds of people that their only experience or their only interaction with our community will be at that parade or be at that festival. And as a result, we need to show up and we need to represent in the way that we will, and we will. We will. Well, that's it. Another week with It's Happening Out. You sat right here at the LGBT kitchen table as we kiki on the things that are important to our community. We invite you to follow our 501c3 nonprofit experiment. Is our LGBTQ plus community important to you? Our mission means we deeply believe it is. Pick up Hotspots magazine on newsstands all over South Florida. Queer News Tonight, covering the LGBTQ plus news of South Florida, America, and our world, is daily and live at 8 p.m. on Roku, Apple Television, and many other television platforms. And our flagship is with you here tonight and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. And remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. And until next time, good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
That was LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.